everyone and welcome to a live stream. We're live, woo! That's gonna be different. Usually I'm in the premiere chat, and this time I'm gonna be doing it live. And I've even set up my stream deck, so I should be able to toggle cameras, but I'll probably fail about 1 billion times as usual. But it should be fun, I think. So I'm gonna just make sure that everyone can hear me all right in the chat still. I had some issues setting this up, and I don't know what the chat delay is, but I think it'll be all right. Woohoo! Justin, how's it going, Jim? I've got the chat down to the left here. So if I'm staring down there, it's not that I'm like avoiding the camera. And I need my glasses on, right? I don't really know. I've got this big no button too, but it doesn't work. Oh yeah, it does. No. All right, cool guys. We've got some familiar people. I'm also doing it a little bit earlier because I'm going to be streaming for about 2 hours today. So that should be fun. I need to practice because we've got a 300,000 subscriber live stream coming up. It's been like 3 years ago since I hit 200k. That was a lot of fun, and it's going to be exciting. I don't know if I can cope with another 24 hours, but we're going to give it a go then. Maybe in a couple of months or so, we'll hit it. Abu? I'm not even going to try to say most people's names, so if I butcher the name, sorry about that. I'm happy to be your first teacher, Abu. Captain Frank is here. Jim Engström. Jim Engström is actually a long-time friend of mine. We grew up next to each other. He lived in the house next door to me. So fun to see you there. Fredrik Persson. Whoa, Fredrik. Nice to see you here. That's been a long time. Cool. And we've got Justin and Lauren. And I think Stacey's off eating now. How dare she eat during stream hours, even though I started an hour earlier, so that's my fault. All right. Steven. Oh, nice. We've got a lot of the familiar faces here. Exciting. So I've just decided, check this out. I've got to flash this, what I've set up now, because I have, like, I don't really ever stream. As you know, I usually do my premieres and I edit it. But I've actually configured now, so I can press, woohoo, check this out. This should switch me into Unity. It should switch me into Unreal Engine. I'm super excited about this. It should switch me into Blender, so I can do Blender stuff. It should even be able to, I should be able to toggle all the way into my game here. So Unfair Rampage. And I think everything's working. And I can even control like music. I'll switch to another track here. Everything's there. Some remixes of my music in the background today. That's what we'll be listening to. First time in your live. Edican Marcus, nice. Which one are you doing today? Unreal or Unity? I've set all three stuff up, so I'm just gonna wing it today. I'm gonna do a little bit of everything because I've been dabbing about creating a new tutorial in Unity because I've realized that the one that I did before, my best performing video ever is the Learn Unity, but that was from 2018 and that had about 3.3 million views, and it's sort of just dropped off now, which is understandable. So I'm gonna do a new Unity tutorial, a 6.3 tutorial, so that's gonna be fun. So I've got Unity up and loaded, and I've been doing a lot of stuff in Unreal Engine lately because I'm learning that still. Super excited to learn more about that. I've actually got 5.7 installed, so I could try the voxel nanite stuff. And I wasn't overly impressed, unfortunately, with that one. I was hoping it would be the magic bullet, but of course there's never a magic bullet. And then I've got Blender. Maybe I'll do 10 minutes in there too. And then I've got I haven't done anything for Unreal yet. So I haven't actually done any tutorials for Unreal because I don't really feel confident enough that I'll be able to teach anyone. I can sort of show small things that I'm learning, but I cannot really create a tutorial yet. But I'm actually getting a really good understanding of how different they are. And I understand why Unity people are struggling with Unreal Engine because it's just such a different beast. Unity doesn't have any concept of like a player. It doesn't have any concept of a game state. It doesn't have any concept of a camera controller and stuff. All of that comes in Unreal Engine, and it's just difficult for me to wrap my head around that there's like a whole game system there that you can use. So it's going to be exciting. But do you know what I'm going to start with? I think we've got 35 people online. Woo! Nice. So I'm happy to announce that finally, after a very long time, we've got Unfair Rampage is coming. So I'm going to switch over to that one because this game has kind of been done since March or something like that. That's when I pretty much finalized it. But then it got signed with the publisher, so it's getting released through Red Deer Games, and it's going to come to Switch and on Steam. at the same time. And I'm happy to announce that the release date has been set to the 23rd of October, which is only 2 weeks away. So I'm going to be playing the game quite a bit and streaming it quite a bit. I want to show it as much as possible because now that the release date, it's the publisher is in control of the release flow. So now I have to do everything that I can to actually get people to understand that the game is coming, because it's been a bit of radio silent lately. So thanks, Justin. I know you've been like super helpful and showing the game and promoting it and playing it and creating streams and creating videos. Super grateful. So thank you, Justin. I've been very appreciative, even if I've been a little bit quiet lately, because there's a lot of stuff going on all the time. I never seem to be able to calm down and do. I always think that I'll have a lot more time than I actually do. So now I'm actually building up to, we're going to release the indie program. So the Ultimate Indie Dev program. We launched, actually, that was in June that we ran that one for 6 weeks. And it's launching again at the end of October on the 26th. So we're going to open in the sign up page probably tomorrow or something like that. So I'm going to be running it again, and we're changing it a little bit because we learned a lot of stuff from the first time we ran it. And we're going to invite a whole bunch of new people, and we're going to put more focus on the games that people are making. Excited about that. All right. Now I got commercials. Gisela, I'm spewing out commercials too at the same time here. So you'll get the built-in advert commercials, and then you'll also get my adverts for my own game now. So like every indie developer, it's always like promoting something is always the difficult bit. So I'm gonna do it, give it my best now. But I'm in on Fair Rampage. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually reset my statistics. So I'm gonna go into settings, because check this out. Actually, at first, it's been a while since I played this one now. I'm gonna check my score. My top score is 18.2 million. And I'm gonna wipe it now. I set that back in May. And today I'm gonna start fresh. I'm actually gonna clear all the stuff and lose all the skins that I've got and everything. So, should be in here. I'm gonna disable, let's see, reset statistics. Mega warning, this deletes all your statistics. Okay, let's do it. And reset achievements. I'm gonna reset them too. And I'm going to mute the music. So we've got the in-game. There we go. And yeah, going all fresh. I'm going to start super fresh here. So I've reset everything now, haven't I? And video, I'm going to make sure options. I don't want closed camera. That's too difficult. And I should change my skin here. Why do I still have access to all the skins? Shouldn't they be reset? The stats, yep, it's clear. No, this is not a 48-hour live stream, I wish. The longest I've ever done is the 24-hour, and that was a stretch. I lost my voice nearly halfway through, and now it feels like I'm going in with it lost, to be honest. See, that is cleared out. That is cleared out. Just need to make sure that language, English, everything's all right. I'm actually going to play with keyboard. I think a lot of people, most people will probably play with a controller, but I prefer keyboard. Yeah. I can't remember, unfortunately, exactly everyone who was in the live stream. I remember some, and I'm super grateful that people were hanging out for so long, and I was amazed at it, to be honest. Like on a Saturday too. You love the keyboard setup. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try it now. So I'm going to play a little bit first, just to get warmed up, and then I'm going to switch over to do other stuff too. So I'm going to be doing, and you'll probably see me fail miserably because trying to talk at the same time as playing this is going to be difficult. But I'm going to give it my best shot. And I haven't played this game now in probably like a month or two. Been on holiday with my wife and kids too. Only for like a week, so. And I'm going to try to check out the chat at the same time. So if you have any questions, if you've got any, whether it's game development related, Blender related, anything, just any random thoughts, let me know. And I'll try my best to answer. Yeah, I can do it. Oh, that was a nice kick. It's fun to see people playing it for the first time because, I mean, it is... I don't think most people survive more than 30 seconds at most, I would have thought. 30. I don't even know if I can say those words on stream either, because isn't it like a bit iffy with when it comes to what you can say and what you... Okay, so as soon as I look on the chat, I get... Oh, I'm on fire. I wonder if I even make it to the boss, actually, on the first attempt now. Activate some power-ups. I'm obsessed with trying to, like, eliminate every enemy, too, but you don't really need to. And at this first level, you don't get a tremendous amount of points for them either, so... I'll have to pick my moments to check the chat as well. Well, yeah, I still feel it. It feels nice. Oh, I wouldn't say anything different, I suppose. And it's going to be a really good test to see. Is the frame rate alright? Could you, like... Because I've got, let's see, it's running at 160 frames per second. And I think I'm streaming at 60. Yeah, gamepad. And Gisela was super great. I'm grateful for the testing that she did, because she was testing with the gamepad and I played keyboard, and she was reporting some of the issues, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably not a problem. Like, it still felt a little bit indirect. That, oh, look at that. What's happening to that rock? It just fell over. I was like, yeah. Oh. And she wrote really good reports. Like, I got a nice Word document, or not a Word document, a Google Doc with super detailed information. And it actually helped me really tidy up the controls. So thank Gisela and other playtesters too. Justin plays with a... Like, I have to call you out now, Justin. You've got a weird setup, because you're doing something with a mouse, I remember. And you're like... I don't know, you used mouse wheel or something to aim? Is that right? I mean, each to their own. I'm not complaining. Google Doc for the win, yeah. I used to be like a super big Windows, not a Windows. I used to be a super big Microsoft fanboy or something. Everything was like Microsoft Word, Excel, using all the fancy stuff in the word processing and the sheets and the crazy formulas. And then I couldn't understand when Google Docs came. I thought, like, that's rubbish. It's just so bad. It doesn't have all the features. And then I'm realizing, like, all I do is I just need to write a few words in there. And I need to put the most basic of formulas. So now, actually, I'm like, I don't even own Office anymore. Long gone those days. And if I'm probably trying something too complicated. If I need anything else, then that Google stuff doesn't. Alright, how am I going to read this? Like, as soon as I look over to the chat, I get annihilated. I need, like, some accessibility. Oh, I'm nearly dead. Okay, I'm just... Alright, I'll see. Oh, the other camera view. Do you use the 3D? I'm going to switch to that too, of course. I'll warm up with this and see if I can get a decent score, and then I'm going to switch to the cinematic view. Okay, so what are you typing here now? I use the mouse to shoot and the right mouse button to look up. Yeah, I did tell everyone that it was a weird setup, and I'm sticking to it. I'm on fire. Oh, these are dangerous. Well, they also charge my power-ups to the max. Oh yeah, my favorite power-up. Rapid fire. And I combined it. Check that out. I love that. When you combine... Whoa! I nearly dashed into the hammer. They kill you instantly. They're like predictable, but sometimes they just call you out. They don't call you out. What am I going on about? I'm trying to do something. Is this a custom engine or what? Let's see. I'm going to try to read here. What you selected. I'm trying to see. Okay, so it's not a custom engine. This is made with Unity. And for a game like this, I think Unity, for me, is the best engine. It's because I know it the best. So that's like the biggest favorite. Hold on, I'm just trying to get this. It's not exactly Elden Ring difficulty here, but there we go. Sorted. Unreal Engine's got really pretty graphics, but I think for like a fast frame rate, crisp-looking game, Unity is actually the better option, I think, for these really fast games. Because the frame rate, it can, like, some people are... And it does matter as well, actually. Even if you play it on 60, it doesn't feel super smooth, funny enough. And especially not if you stream it. And I know you can change the frame rate of Unreal Engine 2. Change it to about 120 I can get at the most. The problem though is that in deferred rendering, when you get all the pretty lumen stuff and all the graphics that's lighting up, it actually needs that frame rate to reduce a little bit to be able to do all the calculations to get the lighting correctly. And if you try to run it faster to get super smooth frame rates for a super fast shooter like this one, you lose out a little bit on the graphics rendering quality because it doesn't have enough time to do all the lumen calculations. So that's actually something I've learned. And Godot, unfortunately, I can't really speak too much about Godot because I haven't used it enough. So you can probably do something very similar in Godot too. Whoa, that ballista nearly got me. Nice kick. I only play with 60, yeah. Someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone actually said that, like when I was streaming this a while back, that they disable VSync altogether and play it at the ultra fast, like with a 5090 or something, and played it super fast. And I'm like, well, the eye doesn't really detect anything above 60, you know, the usual stuff. But you could, when I tried it and I got up to about 300 FPS, it was like, okay, this is like extremely smooth now. So you can actually tell a difference. But it makes less difference. Should I get on fire? Whoa, whoa. Okay. I'm gonna try to check the chat again. What this... Oh, this one is... These getting... Catch out. Oh. But I don't have a tremendous amount of health either. And this one, this ballista. First time I reached this one, I forgot to kill that one and it shot me in the back. Now that I know where it is, it's not too much of a problem. So, check it out, folks. In less... Whoa, I'm nearly dead. In less than... Or in about 2 weeks. No, I died. Okay, I didn't even make it to the second boss. Nice sound sign. Thank you. So, the music I composed, and most of the sound effects, I think a lot of them are from Universal Sound Effects. Some of them I custom made for this game, but I actually brought them into Universal Sound Effects. Since I created them, I put them in there. So there are some unfair Rampage style sounds. Compared to deferred render. Let's see, I gotta check the history here now. Let's see. I need binoculars or something. What would be a good resource to learn to set up better lighting for a stylized game? To be honest, I just, on a game like this, I like to just crank up the brightness and add bloom and add a bit of like additive light. And we cover lighting a little bit in the program that we do, but I think the best, if you specifically want lighting, is there are some dedicated videos for that, so I'd probably search them. Not from me, because I'm not like a lighting expert. And for if I do a platformer in Unreal Engine, if I do something like a side scroller shoot 'em up like R-Type or something, I was actually toying around with that idea. I'm probably going to use forward rendering even in Unreal Engine because it just gets a lot crisper, the details. You lose the ability to light up with emissive surfaces, which is a huge pain, but you can sort of mimic that by putting light sources there. And I did a comparison, and it was a really big difference. Like the crispness of the pixels without TAA, which is the hideous anti-aliasing that's sort of doesn't behave good if you're moving fast. So, oh, Metal Slug, yeah, cool. Yeah, the fonts are it's a Google font called what is it called? I used it today for the title too. I think it's called, what is it called? The font? It's a free one. I might think of it in a minute. I need someone to like speak the questions into a into a voice mode so I can hear. How am I going to be able to read chats? Hello! I can read those short ones. Keep it short, folks. And if you want to ask me something specifically, do at Imphenzia so I can really see them. because then especially if it's like a direct question to me, because then I can, if you're chatting amongst yourself, then I'll be able to just, even though that's cool, I can actually look on the replay. I should store all of those. So if you're chatting amongst yourself, I'm still gonna sneak in tomorrow for my lunch break or something, and I read what you guys have been saying behind my back. StarCraft, yeah, that's it. You've got it. Okay, I'm nearly dead. I'm doing a lot worse this time. I just need to make it now to the... There we go. This is my favorite bridge, actually. That's why this was the last bridge, but I put the suspension bridge first when I implemented it. I liked it. Infinite ammunition? Yeah, it is actually. We discussed things like this when we made this game. We're like, should it be limited? But if anything, you want to encourage people to just shoot and be as active and crazy as possible. But we don't have anything where you sort of deplete ammo or deplete... because we just want full-on action, mayhem, like shoot anything that moves, destroy the level, carve yourself through. So there's no ammo concept in this game. In other games, there will be, but for this one... Those archers are aiming for me, I can see them. Hello! Waving back at you. I'm gonna wave. There we go. Managed. I'm sure someone will tell me if the stream, like, flips out or something. Let's see. Yeah, so I read the first fragment before I'm gonna collect an arrow in my forehead here. I've heard, too, that Australia is notorious for, like, the classifications of games. I think this game will be alright, but I have to be, like, careful. I know that, what was it called? The... but I kind of understand why, but, what's it called? Something 1. That drug game thing that came out. Like the open world thing. What was it called? I kind of... my mind gone blank. People will probably know. But that's released now, but they couldn't release initially because it needed to be classified or rated. I also found out that you're not allowed to do online poker in Australia. That surprised me. I used to play online poker a little bit. This is years ago. I played it in Sweden, like Texas Hold'em in 2008 or something. I thought, oh, it's been a long time since I did that. But you're not allowed to gamble. It's weird because they've got like gambling in casinos, which Sweden is a lot stricter at. Let's see. Yes, there's Beebster Games. There's no aiming. That was another thing. I actually had aiming first, but by having it shooting straight forward only and up and down, it actually encourages you to jump down instead of standing up here and sort of sniping enemies from a distance. I didn't really want that. I want you to jump down and engage with the enemy and like get into the nitty-gritty action. That's why it's only allowing kind of old school. But my go-to first was to implement aiming, even with a mouse. That's what I've got for Ultranova, like mouse aiming, dual stick aiming. But for another game, maybe a little bit more of an action adventure game, that's good. But for this super fast action, and up and down, I had to implement because you need to be able to shoot like your way through the level. That's why you can shoot up and down. I had diagonal first too, but since it's controlling when you press left and right, if I tried to shoot diagonal, I would have to move at the same time. The only way you could avoid it is shooting down like that, and then now I could sort of shoot diagonal because I couldn't move forward. I didn't think that was a very good, neat solution. Right. It's not endless. It is procedural, but the levels are assembled by different modules that are increasing in difficulty, and there's a bit of randomness, but there's like a selection of maybe 13 different level segments that you can choose from before you reach the first bridge. So it feels different and fresh every time you play it, and you start to recognize like, oh, I know this part now, I know this part, I know the best pass through here. And then the game was supposed to end after about 13 minutes of gameplay when you reach the end boss. Because this game was made for the indie developer course that I made, so it was specifically made for that. But we discussed it and we thought it'd be a shame to just end the game there. So now it kind of loops back, and the difference is that everything moves a little bit. Not everything moves faster, but if I wait here, the level will catch up to me and it'll start to fall apart. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to show for people that don't know that part. So if I go back here, you'll see here now that the level behind me, somewhere around here. It's a bit slow in the beginning because kind of friendly that way. But for new players, they still struggle. Let's see, how far do I have to go? Whoa, okay. I'm nearly dead now. One more hit. That was not bad. Have I not got a shield? No. The goal of the player is to reach as far as you can, to be honest, and maximize your score. That's the goal. Here you see that the level is crumbling now. So when you loop the game and you succeed and move to the next level, then it changes the graphics and it starts to put everything will become autumn instead. So all the colors are different, so you can kind of tell. And that moves a lot faster. And if you loop it again, it becomes winter. And then it destroys itself even faster. So you'll start to get more and more stressed. And at the end, on round 6, you start to get into glitch levels. Everything looks really funky with different weird colors and stuff. It was inspired by how kind of Tetris breaks if you loop that game. That was unintentional, but I've done a little bit intentional that way. And then it's basically you have to dash like the whole time to complete the game in that case. Okay, now I'm going to see. I don't have much health here. Oh, and I got the most difficult. There's actually a bit of a... Sometimes, if you're lucky, like I am now, this one is supposed to be really difficult, but since the level segment before me have this little island here, I can actually go up here. So it became easy. Otherwise, you have to... I used to call it the Tower of Hell, that one, but now it was like Cheating Tower of Pisa. There we go. So I'm going to check the chat soon again, but first I'm going to try to survive. The melee attacks, you actually get bonus points or extra points for... is it called melee or melee? I don't know. Melee is a dishwasher. But you get a bonus point if you do... That's, again, it's to encourage people to try to maximize their score and get even closer to the enemies and do more damage. I'm going to check... Whoa, I nearly died. Check that out. And now I need... Here's a health kit. I need... Thanks. Really needed that. Those shielded knights I like, actually. They block your shots, but now I just shot them anyway. There you go. See. And you can actually not shoot through them. You have to, like, sort of jump up and above them. But when you get used to them, it's pretty simple. And those archers, the red ones, kind of follow you a little bit. So I'm going to check soon. Okay. Why isn't... oh, right. Usually... The chat in... and here, check this glitch out too. I've actually found that you can... Oh, okay. I'll have to hard way then. It doesn't actually highlight my name in the chat when I see the chat in... I'm looking in Streamlabs now. In YouTube, it actually highlights my name. Now it just says kind of Imphenzia, but it doesn't. So I'll check. After I die, I'm going to spend some time looking at the chat and stuff. I'm out of juice on this one. Activating BFB. Native PC only. It's for PC, but it's coming on Nintendo Switch. But due to performance issue, a lot of the visuals actually come from post-processing. So one important lesson learned was that the Nintendo Switch struggles with the post-processing, and it struggles with these type of trees that I've created. So the Nintendo Switch game, it's like gameplay, it's the same, but it looks different. It's a little bit more. It doesn't have the bloom, unfortunately. I think on a small screen, maybe it doesn't like play as much. You know, it's more important that it looks really detailed on a piece. Here we go, boss time. Okay, what power up? I don't know. I didn't charge up. Here I am, like a battering ram to your face. Yeah, the Nintendo doesn't have... So this one doesn't have network multiplayer, but it's got local multiplayer. And as a funny bonus, when you implement local multiplayer on Steam, there's something called remote play. So you can actually play local multiplayer games over the internet by streaming your screen, and it worked surprisingly well. Unfortunately, it's a bit, you know, a quick game like this, we've actually played it. So Jazilra in Finland, Justin in the US, and me in Australia, we played at the same time. And it works, but the person that hosts gets a really like nice and direct feedback. And anyone who's like 200 milliseconds away, well, you can only imagine in a game like this, it's a bit tricky. But it worked, to be honest. And then I tried to stream it with Rick from Game Dev TV. And we played it local here within Brisbane. That worked excellent. It was like playing on the same PC, to be honest. Yeah, that was fun. But actually, we should do it again. That's probably my favorite thing, like playing the game together. Because what happens is that when you play local multiplayer, then let's say you play 3 people and then one or both people die, then if the other person that remains reaches a bridge, the other ones respawn, so that you can sort of revive them. So I'm really happy with that. So it doesn't feel like hope is not lost. Oh, okay. I forgot that I had to shoot that one. Level is breaking now. It's caught up with me. And here, there's a hidden power up. Yeah, I'm surprised it worked too. Is this the last bridge? I think so. So let's see if I can make it to the next round then. It's funny when there's one guy who's played the game. His nickname is Ferrari, but spelled differently. Within a matter of weeks, I'd played the game while I was developing it, and I've been playing it for, like, I'd played it for nearly a year or something. And then he comes in, he gets the game, and within a week he beats my high score, and he got over 10 million. And he's got over 18 million now, and he's actually got... Okay. And he's got the current high score, and I haven't been able to beat him. I made this stupid game. How about that? I haven't even used the shield today. Oh, how close was that ballista? I'm gonna shoot. This one will catch you out. If you don't destroy this one, let's see. Oh, I actually have to apply that. I heard, and I used to work. Oh no. I used to work with security, and I just spotted when I started Unity that there was an announcement of a security patch. So I'm gonna be doing another build to make sure that it's actually got the latest version. I have to check out a little bit on what the score is with that. So 692. I'm gonna play again because I need to make it. I have to start using. Oh, I hate kind of this power up, but it's Justin's favorite. I'm glad that it's someone's favorite. Let's check this out. I mean, it's kind of cool to blow stuff up, but it's a little bit difficult. Like this. That one you can aim, actually. Check this out. Okay, now I ran out of it. Mortar. Yeah, I can't even say that. Why did I name it Mortar? I can't even pronounce it. Mortar. There we go. Ah, see? It worked. Lethal. Jazilra hates it too. So if you're interested in this game, the reason why I'm playing this one now specifically is because this game is getting released on the 23rd of October. And I made this game in... The core development was done in 6 weeks. Because I spent every day and pretty much every night just doing this. And then the game was pretty finished. Okay. But so it was pretty finished. But then while I was working with trying to get a deal with when I was trying to get a deal with the publisher, then I had some spare time, so I implemented some extra polish, like localization and then the local multiplayer and so, and then that part was done in about, I think, March. The game was pretty finished, and it's when I got signed, primarily it was signed because I really wanted to have the experience of releasing something on Nintendo Switch. I've always been curious to see like what type of, you know, how would the games perform and what are the lessons learned by releasing it there. And then this deal was made for Nintendo Switch and Steam. And the previous game that we released, we actually ended up releasing self-published. We didn't go for a publisher, even though we had a really big publisher lined up. We nearly signed a contract, but we chickened out because theoretically, if we signed the contract with them, they could have basically given the game to like a child company and then just shelved it and not released it. So we didn't dare to sign the deal because legally they had that loophole and we couldn't. We tried to get rid of it, but we couldn't. So we self-published that one. So it's interesting. It's very different releasing through a publisher instead of doing it yourself, because I'm usually like used to being in control of everything that's going on. So having someone else control like the Steam page now and stuff feels a bit like of getting used. Okay. Let's see here now. There you go. If you pick up a power-up once you've actually already got it, it maximizes that power-up. Okay, and I died. I need to focus now. Come on! I can do it. So I'm gonna play a little bit more and see if I can beat the end boss. My goal is to get to level, like round 2, and then I'm gonna switch over and I can do something in Blender or Unreal Engine, or I can do something in Unity, or in all three, why not? I also set, I've never spotted that before, I actually set a goal too, but don't feel compelled. But I did set a goal because, and if it reaches the goal, I don't even know what it is because I haven't spotted it before, but you could set like a goal for Super Chats. So I set it just for fun so I could see how it works. And if it reaches the goal, I'll stream tomorrow again. So, but I don't even see now if people are doing that because I need to get... It's, if there's a name in blue there, it means they're moderators. So thanks. If someone's misbehaving in there, watch out for the people in blue because I can kill. Hopefully I won't. There we go. Oh, nearly fell. Okay. I took like 5 hours. Not 5 hours, 5 arrows. This should be on fire now. Yep. Woo! Hey, oh, dodged that one. Oh, thanks, Matt Aaron. So, thank you for testing that, because now I can see that those actually do show up here. So, thank you. It works. Thanks. And I won't judge anyone who doesn't use that feature. But if you want to test it out, dare to do. And I'm actually... Should I buy my kids food with the money? Or should I buy myself coffee? Or should I save it? Should I pay some taxes with it? Not enough boost. It was called boost before, actually. I don't think there's a proper name for it. Okay, and he shot me in the back. Self-inflicted. That catches me out sometime. It's funny when you see different players play. I know Justin goes up here, and I think he dashes through there, but I'm no good at that, apparently. Nearly died. Okay, I died. Thanks, Justin. I blame that one on you. Just going to show people how you play it. You get your favorite way of doing it. Oh yeah, save it for Ultranova development. True, actually. I had to do a big look through my history. Like, I do so many different things. I do like asset development. I do YouTube stuff. I have my Patreon. I do some freelancing. I do freelancing for the game that I used to like partially own that I ended up selling to the other developer. So I do some freelancing for that game. I do some YouTube collaborations, and then I do I'm going to try to sell this game, and I do a bit of courses. So it's very difficult, like with so many different things going on. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to understand like where the revenue is coming from. So I don't think it's for everyone, because it's like when you have a steady 9-to-5 job, you kind of know like you'll have a paycheck or something. And suddenly now it can be really weird and difficult. And you're like, okay, there were no sales this month, and I'm not that great with saving. So it can be a little bit surprising sometimes. But luckily enough, sometimes when there's a sale on the Unity Asset Store or something, it sells a little bit more, and it kind of covers for the periods where I don't do any freelancing or I don't have a course coming out. So far, somehow, since we moved to Australia, about, it's actually exactly, yesterday it was exactly 3 years ago since we moved to Australia. And it's still been working out, so I'm really thankful and grateful for people like that are doing the Patreon and for YouTube's the ad revenue is fluctuating quite a bit there. It's very difficult to predict, to be honest. That's why I also need to do some more like tutorial videos, because they kind of tend to do better. And I really want to try to, like, I'm okay with any amount of subscribers, but it's nice to have a goal anyway. To try to, like, my ultimate goal is to try to get the to 1 million, of course. But that could take decades. But that's okay. I don't mind. It's the journey that's the fun part. Like, if you just achieve something straight away, it wouldn't be as fun. That's why I say that I don't really want to win on the lottery, and I don't even play the lottery, so I don't think I could win it, I suppose. But I'd much rather make something that's successful than win on the lottery. I think the whole, like, appeal is to manage to do something that's successful, I think. I kind of understand why people get into trouble when they win money, because respected in this. Yeah, I'm gonna look I can't even say. How do you say? Is it Xavier? Xavier. I'm gonna check what I was searching for a color palette, low poly materials. Found yours. Thanks. You're welcome. Yes, it needs custom shaders. The reason why it needs custom shaders is because if you want to use the emission and the metallic and the specularity and the reflection, that's why it's actually got some control things. But if you download it from my website, I do include a Unity project, an Unreal project, and I think the Godot project still works. So the shaders are already there. It's only one shader too. Every object that you make can use the same shader. That's why I like the material a lot, because it really saves you a lot of headache, and it hardly takes up any space, which is... Thanks, I saw non-Roker. Yes, yeah, I'm happy with the 6-week time period, but then I think it was 400 hours was the initial game, and it's probably up to, like, with all the polish and the tweaks and the localization and the local multiplayer, it's probably gone up to about maybe 700 hours. I recorded all the development too, so everything's like video recorded. Part of that program, the indie developer program that I did, so all the devlogs and stuff are in there. Let's see. Alright, so different X-Man guy. Okay, I'll go for that. That sounds cool. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with words, I've found out too. When I do YouTube stuff, and I said foliage instead of foliage. That was a lesson learned just recently. And I keep saying, I called it Boolean. I've always said Bowleen. That was another one. Here we go. That white flashing that you get when you hit the boss is inspired from the Amiga days. This was just a taste. There we go. So he doesn't die yet. Oh, action. Those are so silly looking with the boots. weapon. Oh, I should really change my power up, because if you hit one of those flyers, it actually maximizes your charge up, your power up charge. So you can use it as a battery. $250. Oh. Oh, X-Man guy. I read X-Men. I might call you that anyway. Okay. Oh! Oh, this is not good. Can I get up there again? Oh, okay, this is not good. I'm so close to that now. I'm not gonna take your way, just... oh, maybe I should. I need a med kit. Come on. Nope. Oh, look at that. I nearly died, and then suddenly I was on fire instead. That sounds worse than dying. No, it doesn't sound worse. But it sounds pretty bad to be on fire. But in this case, it's good, until you're not. There we go. I'm burning up again. The burning man. Okay, and I lost it. You get double points if you're on fire. It makes no sense. Oh. It's like not literally on fire. Well, it is literally on fire because he is literally on fire. But the concept is that he's, of course, like in the zone type of on fire. I just thought it'd be appropriate to show that you're on fire. Am I going to be on fire again? You need to get 11, not 10. You need to get 11 eliminations in 5 seconds. That's when you get on fire. That's where you got that little bar there. Okay, we got boss time. There's a... There we go. I want to get rid of that archer. Oh, okay, that hit me. Is this the... Oh, there's the second boss encounter. There we go, rapid fire, that'll take you out. Okay, I didn't have that much. EFB. Yeah, pronouncing it my way. I'm checking the chat while I'm battling the second phase boss here. Okay, and then I ate an archer art. If I die here, I'm not gonna finish myself. That archer up there, is he gonna get me? Nope. Challenge accepted. Can I get up here? Yep. And I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, I'm gonna use these to charge my power-ups. Battery boys. Fill up the BFB. Where are you? There you go. I need to play more. Yes, you do. And it's out soon. Can you believe it? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm nearly dead. And I don't have... Oh, here's the bridge too. Come on. There we go. Last bridge. Okay, I just shot away this that I need. Oh, thank you. Little ledge there. Oh, okay, that was stupid. I lost half my health. Okay, now I need to... I'm actually going to try this little trick here. You can... check... Oh, no. Haha, glitch. You can use glitches if you're doing a glitch run. It's not really a glitch, but you can, well, it is. You can sort of trick the double jump slightly if you're super fast. You can get a little micro bonus jump. Why don't I have a shield yet? I need the shield. Is there a shield here? Yes, it is. And it's fully charged now thanks to these guys, so now I'm going to use it. Shield is probably the most like useful if you, because you can enable it in tricky section. Like a ball. See, I'm gonna check the chat in a minute. Ah. Okay, shield is available. So what are we gonna do? Now I've got to shoot the shield first. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna get rid of you, and now I have to, on the final encounter on the first round here, you need to get rid of the shield first, and then it'll go into the second phase.
Come, test your strength against me.
Oh, here we go.
My shield.
I'm gonna use the shield. Haha! Shield, shield, shield. Oh, I switched it off. Or did I switch it on? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh! Axed. That was cruel. I was just trying to switch back to the shield as well. Ah. Should I go fast to the boss instead now? I'm gonna see how fast I can get there instead now then. Check this out. I'm doing like a speed run. There's a different way of playing. I usually don't play the game like this, but I'm gonna try that. Since the goal is to get to round 2. And I run. That's fast. Okay, I nearly died then. That could consequence. Oh, made it. That was fast. This is a different way to play the game, to be honest. You can speedrun it. And again, the Ferrari guy who's got the best score altogether, he's of course got the speedrun record too. I think he completed the demo in like 3 minutes or something. Or was it 1 minute? Yeah, I think it was like, or I can't remember. Okay, I'm nearly done. Okay. I can't take another hit, so... Ooh, there we go. If I'm silent, it's because I'm focused. I'm terrible at doing two things at the same time. Okay. I was trying to find a shortcut, but I know the best way through this module for me is by doing this. Oh, okay, not that. Go here, shoot this one, then wait for that fireball, and now... Oh, okay, that scared the bejesus out of me, because that fireball, one hit, and you're toast. Okay, I need to be faster. I was supposed to go fast, wasn't it? I need that health. And I also need a shield, preferably. There we go. Okay, that's a lot of archer arrows. Okay, this There's too many archers.
No one passes without a fight.
Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Oh. Come on. Level to level loading, how do you mean? Could you elaborate on that? You mean like the loading times? If that's what you mean, I've actually got something to say about that. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was meaning to rush here, wasn't I? The fact that the level is destructible is actually a blessing in disguise, because sometimes the modules don't perfectly... Like, you can get into a situation where they wouldn't perfectly align, so technically there's no path through to the next module, because they're a little bit offset vertically. But thanks to the possibility of shooting through the rocks, you can actually carve yourself through there. Okay. When you rush, it's actually a little bit easier to get on fire, but you lose a lot of points by not killing everyone. Okay, let's rush through here. Oh, this feels good, actually. Okay, well, I ate those arrows. 100. What? There we go. Carving is useful. It is. Oh, Ferrari! How you doing? Have you been here when I was saying how frustrated I am that you've actually got the high score in both the highest score and the speedrun score? No, I'm actually super grateful and happy about that. I was happy when that happened in Line War 2, when people started to beat our score, that we developers, it's sort of a landmark for a game, that someone plays your game to the point where they beat your score. And my son used to play this game, and then when you beat the score so high, he actually stopped playing. But maybe he'll pick it up one day. He's helping me through Elden Ring at the moment, my son, because I'm a bit thick when it comes to understanding all the attributes. And what does what. Like, I'm leveling up the wrong... So many things to... Cause I love it, though. It's so cool, the game. Hard, but super... I managed to beat Margot, whatever. And the first Elden Lord, I'd be happy with that. Okay, nearly dead. Oh! Oh, that was so close. I need health now. I'm just gonna be here instead. Uh-oh, I cannot take a hit. Oh yeah, I could actually. Oh yeah, that's right. You were, Justin. You were best in the world before I came along. Unfortunately, I made it. Okay. But you did have a high score for a while. I have to refresh my mind. When I try to play other platformers now, I'm like, have they always been so slow? Because I cranked up the speed on this thing because it felt like fun to be going fast. And when I try other games now, I'm like, a little bit slow, to be honest. But if you know of a platformer that's faster than this one, I'd love to know about it. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Thanks, Stacy. Yeah, it feels... I'm happy with the colors too. I've boosted the saturation even a little bit more with some color grading too, just to get that little bit extra pop out of the colors. And one thing that might surprise people, but one thing that was actually really difficult to get is the depth of field effect on the background. Like, depth of field is built into most game engines, but there is one caveat when it comes to depth of field, and that is if you enable the default depth of field that comes with game engine. If you look at the bloom that you have on the bullets that I'm firing, the problem with depth of field is that it doesn't know that the bullets are near the screen because it cannot understand that with transparency. So it doesn't know that that's like at the same level of distance as the character. So what happens is that it applies depth of field blur to close up bloomy stuff that should be sharp. And it's a pain you would not believe. I had to stack 2 different cameras. I had to render the background with a separate camera, and that's something actually Unreal Engine cannot do. They cannot stack cameras in the same way as Unity can. You can still work around it, but it's easier in Unity to stack cameras. So it's actually rendering the background with a separate camera, and then it's overlaying the character and everything on top of it with a second camera that's rendering it. That's how I got around it in the end. But even then, it was not straightforward. Let's see. How do you get the cavity effect? I do have a really old live stream where I managed to achieve a partial cavity effect in Unity. You could get... You cannot get exactly to the point... well, you could maybe, but I didn't manage to get it to the same cavity look as in Blender, but I did get a little bit closer. But if you look, I don't have a tremendous amount of live streams. And if you look for a live stream, I did show how I created that in shader graph, I think. And if you look for a thumbnail with, I think there might be like a sports car, a low poly sports car on the... There I actually managed to create one of those shaders. Sorry guys, if I'm missing stuff in the chat, apologies. I'm trying to do my best here to look at the same time as I'm rambling on. Luckily enough, I talk a lot of crap anyway, so it's pretty like easy to speak, but it probably makes 0 sense to most people. Doesn't even make sense to me half the time. So if I can just get it to... Oh, why am I was meant to speedrun. Or not speedrun, but I was supposed to not spend all the time. So Beepster games are the levels procedural. Well, they are partially procedural. There are level segments that are about 40 blocks wide, 40 to 80 blocks wide. And then those are assembled with randomness and offset a little bit vertically. So it's sort of a mid-range to... It's not fully procedural, so it doesn't place every block. I actually really like it that way because you start to recognize the modules. Like, I know like how to do this one now, for example, because I can recognize that part, but it feels fresh because every time you play the game... Whoa, that was a big... Every time you play the game, it feels fresh because it's a little bit different and you're like... It doesn't feel so repetitive. If I did it the same time, I considered that too, whether I should have like a seed. So everyone... Ooh, okay, everyone plays like the same seed, but that took some of the fun out of it. Okay, I done. Yeah, I'm missing. Just ask again. If I don't say... Like, don't be afraid to just keep asking. Even if you ask the same question over and over again. Maybe eventually I'll get it. That was a lot of splatter. Okay, let's rush now. If the game is if it does alright on Steam and Switch, especially on Steam, I'd say, if it does, I'd be super tempted to actually make just a follow-up to the game with more bosses, because I was working with a time constraint and a scope limitation. So one boss was, but with different phases, was it's what's been implemented. But it can still offer quite a lot of gameplay even with that one boss, because beating it is pretty difficult. But I'd be pretty excited to just use the engine now, like so to speak, that's been developed, and add content. That's why the name of the game is Unfair Rampage: Knightfall. And it was deliberate because it's a time traveler that's gone back in time and that's battling these like medieval knights. But that's why you're sort of overpowered. And it kind of opens the door for sequels where you go back to different eras. So if I did a sequel, it could be like Unfair Rampage, like Age of Pirates or something. And then everything would be pirates and stuff. Or you could do like the Wild West, or you could do fantasy or anything really. So that was the sort of idea behind the whole concept. So it'll be like some sort of a virtual stretch goal, I guess. It's not early access or anything, but if it does, then it would make sense to actually do a follow-up. Especially if people start to enjoy it and compete. I think if you get past a certain threshold, it kind of clicked for me when I was playing. One day, I'm like, when I was developing it, when I got to a point, it's like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm enjoying this now. This is feeling like a proper challenge, and I actually enjoyed. In the beginning, I always enjoyed like developing more than I do playing. But then suddenly, I got to the point where like I'm gonna play now for an hour because I enjoyed it. That was a good sign. Yeah, since a lot of the coding, like all the controls for the characters, all the like the enemy logic, the way bosses work, the different hazards and stuff, it would be pretty low-hanging fruit to do either DLCs or... but I think it makes more sense instead of DLC. I don't really want to dilute it and make loads of like... Definitely don't want to do like paid add-ons. So it's better maybe to just do a sequel. Thanks, Gisela, for mentioning that. I put a little text banner there too, so you can see what the release date is. It's going to be interesting now. I predict I will actually lose... So every time I've live streamed on YouTube, I've actually lose subscribers, but I've got a theory for that one. My theory is that like, when you live stream, the thumbnail gets pushed quite a bit to the people that are subscribed to you, and when you have like a bunch of subscribers, especially like I've been running this channel since 2009, so a lot of people kind of forget that they're even subscribed, and a lot of my followers are doing Blender stuff, or they used to do Blender maybe during COVID or something, and they've been subscribed, and then when the thumbnail gets pushed, it's sort of like defragging your hard drive, because it starts to remind them and you go like, oh yeah, I'm not really following this guy anymore. So it kind of urges people to... So I don't think by losing subscribers, I don't think I lose like people that normally would have subscribed anyway at that case. So it's kind of a purge, I guess, refreshing it. But considering I'm trying to go for the 300k now, maybe it's not super wise. But fine. But it's pretty like when you when you live stream and you think like, oh, this is going to be interesting, and then you see like, oh yeah, minus 20 subscribers. Thanks, guys. Spring cleanup, yeah, that's it. You've got a blocker on, off the rails. You're blocking the ads. It's like stealing money from the creators. No, it's not. I've actually considered getting YouTube Premium myself, because I realized that I watch a lot of like little snippets, and like I waste a lot of time on AdWords. So it would actually make sense for me probably to pay for YouTube Premium, because the time is more valuable than the advert. And it's a valid business expense. Oh! Okay, I've got the mortar. Why am I even trying? Come on. Okay, panic. No. No. I cannot take another hit. I need to find either a med kit or... No. Oh, I'm on kicking that thing. Oh, this is... Oh. Yes, I made it. Oh yeah, I can imagine if you're listening to music, that would be a nightmare. I was only joking, of course. But I totally get it. If you're listening to as a music play, that would be uncopable. That's why I got Spotify too, because I don't even listen that much to Spotify, to be honest. For some reason, my music on Spotify has started to pick up a little bit. I don't know why, because I haven't promoted it. But I've got more monthly listeners now than I think I ever have before. 700? 200 or something. Happy. Like, it's not gonna, you know, quit your day job from Spotify unless you're like in with a big record label or make better music. Thanks. I'm gonna try to read. Thanks. I'm glad that you like my work. Just, I think your name was. So sorry. And now I can blame the fact that I've got to look at my gameplay. So I'm trying to just get a little glimpse of. Here.
I shall crush your feeble spirit.
Just pat. Whoa!
You came all that way and delivered nothing. No tip for you.
Thanks, Stacy. Glad you listened to it. How long have I been streaming now? 1 hour and 13 minutes, and I still haven't beat the first round. Okay, now I'm gonna do it now, guys. I'm gonna do it. Come on. I need you to believe in me. So and by the way, if you're like coming into this live stream now and you go like, oh, Imphenzia is streaming, and then I'm sitting here playing a game. So I'm not switching to a gaming channel, don't worry about it. This is like a one-off because I'm a game dev. So I've got to play my own game every now and then. I get a lot of questions why I don't promote Line War more on my channel. And it's the same type of thing there. If I promote games, then, or like, even if it's my own one, it's kind of a bit counterproductive, and most people aren't like real-time strategy gamers or in the case platform game. So it would probably make more sense to create a dedicated channel in that case, where you do more like play stuff rather than mixing it up with the game dev / 3D modeling channel. But I decided to make an exception now, and then I probably do a little bit more game streaming on Twitch instead than on. But I thought, since we've got a release date now for the game, then I thought, and it's Thursday, and I've been on holiday, so last week I was meant to stream, and then I actually realized when I was away with my family that, like, oh, I was meant to stream today, and I forgot to even put an. I guess that's a good sign, because I find it a little bit difficult to. I think it's okay to promote your own. Thanks, off the rails. Appreciate it. See, looking good. Well done, Stefan. Thanks, Fredrik. I appreciate it. I'm really happy with the game, actually. And it's funny because a platformer is not exactly the most profitable option of a game that you can release. But I do have theories. I've researched it quite a bit now. And it's because a lot of people release that as their first game. And there are a lot of platformers out there that have not got the polish, and they're very primitive and very basic. And so I think there's still room for, like, if you do it and it's niche enough, then there's still room for it. And you had the Silkworm, or Silk, not Silkworm, Silk Dream, was it? The new Hollow Knight game. Did you end up getting that, Gisela, or did you play the demo? I can't remember if you actually played. I need to actually finish the first Hollow Knight first. Okay, okay, I'll make faster progress now. Okay. You're invulnerable when you're in a kick mode. Okay, of first bridge. Ooh, Ferrari. Are you still speaking about this game? If so, happy to hear that, because you're like the legend of the game at the moment. It's going to be interesting when the game is released. I'm really excited to see if anyone's actually going to be able to beat your score, to be honest. It's not easy. Oh, oh, oh. That's so treacherous, that catapult. Oh, Silk Song. Now I understand. You were speaking about Silk Song. That's the one that's really good, I guess. Cool. I haven't... I did try the new template, I think, just very briefly. And realized... my first testing is like, okay, I wouldn't be making this game with that one, because it was it kind of suffers, if I remember correctly anyway, I might be mistaken, but it kind of suffers from the same thing that a lot of like default character controller kind of stuff does. It's got a lot of like stuff where it cannot really handle like situations where you're on different ledges, or if you try to jump up while you're facing like an obstacle, there's quite glitchy and a little bit floaty and not as direct. So, but I think of course you can tweak it. But I might be mistaken. I should actually revisit it so I don't talk a lot of crap. But when I did test it, I did react that. That's why I actually ended up writing my own controller in the end for this one. Because I tried a lot of the default ones, and I tried some third-party ones too. I was not happy with any of them. And I did have a bit of inertia first. I mean, like, if you look at Super Mario and stuff, they have quite a bit of inertia. So when you jump and you let go of the control in the air, it kind of still floats you forward. And I did have that at first, a little bit of inertia. But especially on a controller, that was the thing that really made it difficult to control the precise movements. So I've taken all the inertia. When you stop in the air, it just drops straight down. And I've found... both feedback and while playing myself a lot, that was the best alternative. Okay, if I use the shield a lot more like this, I'm bound to succeed now. Can't believe I haven't gotten to the second round. I've got maximum shield, I'm just gonna go now. Let's go for it. Here's the good thing with the shield. Oh, your weight. Okay, so it doesn't have inertia, that's interesting. Absolutely zero inertia then, or... I think that's gonna be the norm, to be honest, in modern platformers, because every little bit of like unprecise movement, I think, will penalize you, especially the faster the games are, and especially if you're using a controller and you need to time the landings. Oh, I get it.
I will not let you
Come
get
on.
past me.
Well, and you did.
But only for a moment.
The problem is, if you leave those flyers, they will find you in the end, because I'm using it's called breadcrumb AI, and it will hunt you down, especially since the level destroys you. If they've spotted you, they will hunt you down. Okay, I need to get to that. Yes, there is a medkit here. Okay, come on now. trying to read that. That's probably my downfall, that I'm trying to read the chat a little bit. I'm trying to do it in the slowdown moment. I don't understand people that do speedrun records, like for example with Super Mario and stuff. How can they like have a chat open and talk when they need that amount of concentration? Or maybe it's just muscle memory. Maybe it's gotten to that point. Yeah, good controls are vital, I agree. I've done so, like over the course of, I don't know how many years, probably 15 years, I've dabbed a little bit at making different platformers. And it took me a long time, especially like as a game developer, and if you don't play a tremendous amount, oh, I'll check that out. That's stuck in me. That is not a good look. You kind of have to play the games a lot so you understand and get the feel for them. Because without that... No! Oh, I missed the double jump. Come on. The slow-mo. So yeah, I like the slow-mo too. You can disable that if you don't like it. Like some people might get fed up with it, so you can actually disable it. Okay, I was meaning to show what the autumn level looked like. I haven't even gotten to it yet. It looks like I'll be streaming longer than planned today then, because I'm still going to jump into some of the other tools and just randomly do some stuff. There you go. Fire now. I'm just gonna rush now. How many times have I said that? I can catch out when it gets stuck on a corpse like that. Sometimes it catches you out because you kind of expect it to swing past, and then it doesn't swing past in time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you're on round 6 or something, you cannot afford probably the slow-mo. That's a good point. And a mortar. I think I want this shield. Okay. No, 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 no! Oh, I missed the double jump again. Come on. Okay. But now I'm not talking enough instead. That's probably the problem. Okay. I'm gonna give myself 3 more attempts. How about that? So that just raised the stakes a little bit. There we go. And now I've got the shield, so I've got... just another round, yeah. That's the... that's actually how I want people to feel. Like, I'll just play. That's why the game is kind of quick too, and why you're meant to fail a lot in the beginning. Because you're meant to feel like, I'll just try one more time, because it doesn't take... You know, in the beginning when you play the game, like, you can play another game in like 30 seconds. And I've got graphs that are really showing what type of progression is being made, and it's pretty steady. Everyone that plays the game more or less is progressing. It's inevitable. How's your painting going, Gisela? And how was your food, Stacy? Is it good? Why did I disable the shield when I needed it the most? With non-existing loading time. Yeah, that's it. That's why I was going to mention that before about the loading times. I've actually deliberately in Unity, it instantiates the whole world, the whole level as a prefab and not as a scene. Okay, and my shield ran out. Because that way, it's virtually 0 loading time. It can just in memory, since it's procedural like blocks that are reused that way. it's not problematic. So that's why the loading is so fast, because I'm not using any scene management at all. My whole game, including the menu, is even running in the same Unity scene. And it's just the whole level is just a one big prefab. It's not recommended for all games, because if you have like a big terrain and stuff, it would occupy too much memory. But the type of games that I make, it's more beneficial that way. I'm glad. What did you eat? I'm nosy now. I'm gonna judge if it was healthy or not. I had pizza today. I can still judge though. Hey Paige, how's it going? Just playing Unfair Rampage, the coolest platformer around. It's got a release date now, and it's actually about 2 weeks away. It's gonna be released on October 23rd. Chicken. Oh, chicken. I thought you called me chicken. But sounds good though. Lean. No, 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 no. Oh, I realized that I'd already consumed my double jump. There we go. On fire. Boss time. Okay.
Only true heroes can get past me.
No, I'm not gonna use water. Oh, okay.
A hero at a time. And out of luck. Prepare yourself. This is merely a brief reprieve.
Right. Come on. I'm like on silent. Double. No, you actually only get double points for stuff that you kill, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't get double points for the...
Boy, am I glad to make it. Inject HP into my veins and take my bonus points. See if I can.
Okay. Melee kills charges your power-ups a little bit more too. It's anything that's encouraging you to get closer to the action. It's kind of awards you.
No suit for you. This is dangerous territory. Lasers and knights. This just got unfairly epic.
Okay. I guess I don't know if you should. I guess you should. But maybe it would give you too much. Like you don't want to on fire to give you so much point that you don't want to play unless you have it too. So it should just give you an edge. So it encourages you to have it enough that you'll be like, oh yeah, I got it again. But it shouldn't be like, oh, you don't want to play the game if you don't have it. I'm really excited to see if people... I'm really hoping that some people do pick it up to the point where they obsess a little bit and try to really... Like, is anyone going to complete level 6 or round 6? I don't know. I haven't even been able to do it in development. So even when I skip forward to that level and just try it over and over. So I'm very curious to see. Out of curiosity, like... be interesting. Okay, that's too much text, Gisela. I don't know what you're saying. I'm gonna die if I read it. High stakes. You said something about multiplayer menu options. I don't dare to read it. I'm gonna... Alright, have I got... Alright. Oh, that was good. It's nice when you activate the shield right in time like that. Oh yeah, I can imagine that you would. I hope someone beats your score, because that'll give you an incentive for it to try to beat whatever score is made. I understand that when you hold a high score, it sort of takes that edge, chasing edge off. I'll have to do an exclusive skin for your score or something.
I bet you feel hope, but there is none.
I bet you feel hope when there is. Haha. Well, I've got my shield. You got yours, but I've got mine. Mine is blue, shiny. Yours is not.
Your spirit will be smeared onto stone.
Oh!
All this way, and you wasted your chance. What a pity.
I ran out of the shield.
Only the worthy may pass.
No, we don't have Billy's Pan Pizza, Jim, unfortunately. I missed that one, the original. I mean, I've got a theory too. Like, when you go to McDonald's and stuff, I never buy the trendy stuff, like whatever fancy stuff they've got on at the time, if you could call it fancy. Go for the default stuff, because that's what they got famous for. It's the same with Billy's Pan Pizza. They created a whole bunch of different versions of it, but it's the original. That's what's good. Okay, so that was 1 out of 3. I've got 2 more attempts. So make them count.
That makes it 10. Knocked another one down. Sweet. 20 kills.
Okay. The look on my face. Did I pull a face? Did I? What kind of face was it? Why am I trying to kill, like, enemies here? I was meant to... But if you go too fast, it's a little bit dangerous. Because you kind of just eat arrows and stuff. Oh, when I died. Did I pull a face then?
I have made it this far and I'm picking up HP max bonus. I am just the best.
Oh, HP max bonus. Night Night. Play with words. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Did I take a hit then? Oh, I'm gonna lose my own fire, but I don't want to. What's up? Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, I got shot in the back. There we go. What's going up in the chat, folks? What's happening? Are you not chatting, actually, so I won't eat arrows and die? Maybe you're doing it out of courtesy. Oh, well. I need shield. Here's a shield. Ah, that's good. I got some of those archers. That's gonna help. But I wouldn't mind a shield.
Your destiny is to become a dead hero. When I get back to you, bring your A game.
It's super silent in the chat. Are you concentrated? But that actually, the slow-mo there helped me, because then I could time dodging that asteroid. If anyone's interested, by the way, maybe you're spooked by the whole concept, but I saw a really good video on Kurzgesagt. If you haven't heard of that channel, it's a pretty cool animated channel where they do a lot of science stuff mainly. And one was really interested. It was about asteroid. Like if one comes in our way, you know, usually there's not much we can do about it. But there's actually something we can do with today's technology, which I thought was super cool. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's by... Yeah, I won't actually give it away because I thought it was so cool. Hear about that one. Stommer 6. Yeah, it's such a cool channel, I think. I think on average, they put about 1,200 hours into creating a video. And I think it's 70 people working on that channel with animators and fact checkers and all that stuff. So cool. Very, very well made. And kind of cool topics too. Yeah, the AI video, that was good too, about AI slop. It's a real problem actually, that it generates stuff that sort of... That whole concept of confidently incorrect is... It sounds so confident when it's like, yep, this is the way it is. Oh yeah, sorry, no, you're right, that's not the way it is. And how it can be so amazing at some things and so bad at... I mean, it's not really strange that it's happening. A bit concerning, of course.
What a day to be dominating. Ow. Okay, I will avoid these things. Oh, what a surprise it hurt.
I had a call. I bet I missed something. Well, I don't know, to be honest, if you missed that much. I'm still on my second run. I've got one more in the bag, or one, not in the bag, a backup run. So, but I really need to make it to the autumn level. That's my goal. I know I've actually made it to round 6, believe it or not. But that actually requires my full focus. And I cannot talk while I do that at all. And if anyone tries to say anything to me, very upset. Oh yeah, your bunny skin. Am I okay to implement that one then? I should put it out for Easter, shouldn't I? As a little Easter egg. Oh yeah, cinematic mode. I have to do that. That's true. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you say that, Ferrari too. So is it full focus for you too then? That's good to hear. And what about you, Justin? Can you, like, can you focus while doing other stuff at the same time? What score am I on? I'm pretty close. I'll do it this time. I can feel it. I can feel the force.
Do you seek glory, or are you simply a fool?
I'm just going to time the shield now. I'm not going to do anything fancy. Time the shield. There we go. Time the shield. A bit of a like cheater's way. Not cheating. Not a very elegant way either. Time the shield. Like ideally, I should swip to like go away from the shield and do something like this, and then go back to the shield like this, and then go back to this one. But I'm not really that good at switching the power-ups. But now I'm actually okay. There we go. Woohoo! Bye bye, sucker. Was it some? I think it was either Ferrari or Justin or someone who realized that you could die. It was Justin, I think, who realized that you could die from the boss by when he was jumping away, because I didn't disable the hitbox on the axe when he was jumping. But that's been fixed now. Those are the kind of things that you sort of see after a while. Oh yeah, could I increase the game volume? Yeah, I can. No. Okay, it's at max there, but I know why. It's because I do. It's in my stream. I'll bring it up. Maybe something like this. Yeah, I'm gonna... I will do... after I die. You can't do it now. There we go. And then... But I will do it. Thanks for the reminder. Definitely gonna do it. I gotta play cinematic modes. And multiplayer. Actually, I'm gonna show you the... I found it really entertaining to play multiplayer mode myself. because you can actually map the same inputs to control 2 or 3 players or even 4 at the same time with the same input, and it becomes a bit of a puzzle. I actually had a really good time playing it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do it this time. I should save my power-ups now. Pay attention. Okay, I nearly jumped into the hammer as I said that. Permanent double damage. Permanent. Why don't I understand? If anyone's wondering why it's called Unfair Rampage, the name is actually meant, it feels unfair, but it's not really unfair. I mean, you're overpowered by having a rifle, you've been traveling back in time, you've got this armored suit and stuff, you're overpowered. But it's not really unfair in that way because there's so many of them, and the archers, they can kind of aim like crazy lunatics. And there are a lot of hazards and it sort of crumbles and speeds up, so it's not really that unfair. But it kind of feels it, and that's where the name comes from. Oh yeah, sorry, okay, now I understand. I'm a bit thick that way. So, double damage, because you have 2 characters, of course. I forgot what I was even talking about. Okay. I've got the memory of a goldfish.
Here I am, like a battery ram to your face.
Concentrate. Why don't I have any shield? I've used the shield though. I need it. Well, if I concentrate, I'll for it.
Do you seek my shield? Things just took a turn.
I can't remember the pattern exactly.
You expect
I think I need to move now. Oh! Oh no. I can do it, I can do it. Oh, I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna do it! Yay! There we go! There we go. Took me 1 hour and 44 minutes. Sometimes when I play, like when I'm concentrated, I do it on my first attempt. Or something. But now I have to pay attention. Now, it's not super fast now, but it does crumble faster anyway. And as you can see, probably, the level is pretty much the same enemies and stuff, but just to see that you kind of got to a new place, change the graphics out to autumn. How suiting is that since it's autumn? And we don't really get the autumn colors here. Here it's purple at the moment, because the jacaranda trees are blue. I love them. They're all... Oh, you can combine power-ups like this, by the way. Now, I've never combined 3 power-ups like this before. It's kind of nearly impossible. Because you can only do it if you're picking up a power-up while another one is active. Okay, I'm nearly dead. Oh, I died. Okay. Oh well, I made it to this level anyway. That was the point. 1.4. Only. And you get faster score now. When you get to the second round, you double the score. And when you get to the third round, you get 3 times the score. Woo! Now I'm going to show, before I leave, since you guys reminded me of that, I'm going to enable something called... Well, first of all, here, let's show... You can go into 2-player mode, or 3-player mode, or 4-player mode. And you can change skins. I've still got a whole bunch of them unlocked here, because you can unlock here different... like, if you get killed by the boss, you get this one. If you repel the boss, then you get this one. If you get 100 melee kills, you get this one. If you reach round 3, you unlock this one. So you can unlock a whole bunch of combos, so you can play like different characters. I'll probably add even more ones. Like, but I'll play the black one maybe now, and go for a matching weapon. There we go. And back. Oh yeah, so... And I'm actually only going to play 2 at the moment, because 3 is probably too tricky. So now, when you press play, check this out. Okay, I need to actually remap because you can play two on the same keyboard too. It's you can see that I've got two profiles, left profile and right profile. So you can actually play multiplayer locally on the same keyboard too. Or you can just plug in a controller and it'll automatically detect that, so you can switch to it. But I'm going to switch this one now, so both are using the full keyboard. I actually really enjoy this mode, because check this out. Now I've got two characters and they're responding to the same input, and when they're bunched up like this, it's pretty simple, and you can like, get extra firepower. And you can actually play the game like this, and I really... So when I tried it the first time, I'm like, okay, I just did it for debugging. But then I'm like, it's kind of fun, because then if I come here now, then when they're separated like this, like I can do that, and I have to sort of look down below what's going on. And sometimes you can like bunch them together like this again, if it's too tricky. But then since the level is crumbling behind you, it becomes a little bit stressful too. So I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can get to the boss. Maybe. So now this is how it works too. You see how it zooms out the camera, and that's how like the solution is. That's how it frames the characters. So theoretically, you can still run too far away from each other, so you don't see. But then, like, you'll have to come back. Now they're bunched together, so it's a little bit okay, unless I get stuck on that. And it kind of becomes a bit of a competition too, even though it's a co-op game. You can sort of compete by seeing who gets the highest score. When we did the local playtesting, it's quite fun because you start to compete a little bit amongst yourselves. How are they both still alive? Okay, so see how that black guy died, but now he's alive again. So you respawn now. I'm going to show the other view in a moment too. I don't need to necessarily make it to the boss. So that character is no longer with us. I'm just going to see. Okay. Yeah, so everything is 3D. I actually really like to make it this way instead of making a 2D game, because you can get the depth of like the parallax type of effect. You get that automatically by using 3D assets, and then I've locked everything exactly like you say. I've locked it just to the plane, so it cannot move back and forth towards the camera. All right. Now I'm going to switch over and do the cinematic mode. We'll take away multiplayer, then change the character. Which one should I do? The gold one. There's another gold one. I like this one. And maybe that one. And check this out. In settings, there's a warning message now. Oh, not that one. Options. You can go into cinematic camera and it says, warning, this is very hard and it's only recommended if you have played the normal mode to learn the layout of the levels. Yes. And you'll understand why now, because when you play now, it's very difficult because you'll get, like, you don't necessarily know where stuff is. This kind of makes no sense probably. But it's pretty challenging and it's kind of interesting sometimes. But you'd really need to know, because now it's super difficult to know what's going on. And you sort of need to know like, where you can go, where you can't go. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can at least make it to the boss with this. So this is just like, you don't get any bonus points or anything for playing this way, it's just more difficult. But it does record it in the stats actually, so like if someone does manage to set like an insane... Here's where it's super difficult, because you cannot really see now when the hammer is down, this is why... So, but I have the shield, so that's really beneficial. And you can get into a flow, if you go really fast like this, it's nearly simpler to go faster, because you can get into like some weird flow. Here's the bridge. Woo! Suspension bridge.
Maybe not top HP bonus, but not far off. Shields out.
The blades look pretty menacing this way.
I'm ready for this challenge. I have to watch my step here. Peekaboo. A leap of faith is rarely a smart thing to do.
And you can sort of spot the boss a little bit earlier this way too.
Less archer to worry about. Shield running low. Shields out. It won't run
Okay, I don't have a shield now. I did spot the bottom of the blade there, so I'm nearly leaning over to see.
Shield running low. Shield disabled. Big drops are dangerous and there may be nowhere to land below. Not a clever.
It probably. Oh, I don't know how. Like with the stream, I can imagine that it really hammers. You know, because everything changes so fast on the screen that I think it's gonna like compression is gonna have a field check or field day or whatever you call it. Whoa! I nearly. That's one. Do we kick it? There's a bridge. I need to make it. Can we see the boss soon? You're even more rubbish. Yeah, I mean it is super difficult to play this mode. That's why it's like an option thing. I don't think it was even enabled in the demo or something. I can't remember because I just didn't want people to play it and go like this game is impossible to beat.
Activating shield.
Because it is like you have to really understand where the hammers are because it'll catch you in the back otherwise sometimes. Okay, there's the boss. I can see it. That's gonna be difficult. Like the boss is difficult, and I have no shield. Okay, and I died. Oh well. Anyway, there we go. Cool. Enough unfair Rampage for now. So I'll just finish off. I'm not going to end this stream yet, but I'm going to say if you're interested in this game, check out the Steam page and you can still wishlist the game if you want. And it's going to be released on the 23rd of October. And it's going to be just the price of a coffee or something when it's released. And if you have a Nintendo Switch, it's also going to be releasing the same day. Thanks. That was fun. Let's go back to the menu. Check out the leaderboard. See. Oh, it still remembers my old score here on the leaderboard. That's a Steam storage, so that's why it's still up there. Here's my son. He's got 8 mil. So these are only the people with the sharp version of the game. It doesn't include the demo players. But hopefully by the 23rd we'll start to see some more high scores popping in there. Cool. Let's go back and voila, check this out. Oh, my hotkeys. Full screen. And then I can quit this game. And I think I need to lower the volume maybe a little bit. Because now I can check the chat a little bit because I was so occupied playing the game, so 2D platformers aren't really my thing, but recently got addicted to line work. Oh, nice, Ostkaka. To hear. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to lower the volume. I think the music is kind of loud now. These are remixes of the Imphenzia tracks. Maybe something big. There. Yeah. Fixing the music now. I think that's better. Which idea were you talking about, Ostkaka? Do you mean idea of line war, that type of idea, or which one were you thinking about? I should move my chat over here now so I don't stare into the side of the screen. Yeah, I agree. Maybe something will come one day. So we'll see. There we go. Changed my volume too. Echoey. I should switch over to something else. In the background, I've got this thing that I was working in Unreal Engine. Yeah, it's kind of an... we tried to find a genre for line war. Like, what is it? It's a combination of a 4X game. It's a real-time strategy game. It's a bit of an auto-battler in the sense that it does a lot of the stuff on its own. It's got a little different thing. Is the volume good now? I should switch over to something. What do you guys want to do? Should I do? I've got here. I've got Unity open. I've got Unreal Engine open, and I've got Blender open. I'll chill a little bit in the chat and see what you guys. What should we do? Do you want to see something? Should I do something? Should I make something? Foliage. Yeah, sure. Oh, thanks. So Anders Hansen, you're gonna buy this one. Do you mean Unfair Rampage? That would be super cool. I'm very thankful if you do. Okay, let's switch over to Unreal. There we go. Check out my hotkeys. This is version 5.7. It's the preview, and I've got the foliage. Foliage. I'll do a little fly through first, I guess, so I can show you guys what's going on here. So the ones I've been doing most recently are these conifer trees, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. I can actually showcase a little bit here because I've spawned a whole bunch of trees. Let's see how many it is actually. I've got foliage. Let's see. We've got. Okay, it's about there's a whole bunch of them, so I don't know. It's 65 of each, and it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3, 21. About 4 times 60. What is that? 60 times 24. 1,400 trees roughly here in this area. And when I go, let's see, I have to remember if I have, I've got nanite enabled anyway. And I'm just making sure I'm sharing the right thing now. Yeah, I am. That's good. So it's funny when I'm away from like a game engine or something. In just a few days, I kind of like I lose my momentum. I have to get back into like where am I even supposed to look now? So I have to look in nature, trees. Here's where I've got trees, and these. I just need to check if I've got nanite voxelization enabled. I think I do still. I've got voxelize, yeah. So I've got nanite voxelization enabled. That's the new stuff that's coming in Unreal. And it's actually not showing. I'm sharing the application, so when I go into a new window, it's not sharing that one. That's not so good. I have to think about that one. I need to share the screen instead. But voxelization is enabled, and if I press play, we can go here. And see, I should enable stats too. So that's yes. Oh, okay. If I type it in the right place, maybe that's yes. So I get 60 frames per second in here. And let's see, did I disable? No, world position. Probably because. So even here, when I'm inside the forest, here's where it's the most taxing for it to do, and it's because world position offset. Nanite struggles with that a lot. So when you need movement, and arguably you could actually disable that when it's not that much wind anyway, but when it's stormy you really want it to have it enabled anyway. But if I enabled overdraw view here, we can see here's the problem why Nanite is even struggling with this to begin with. I actually need to go into F8 and switch over to this view and switch from lit to Nanite overdraw. This is not good. You don't really want anything that's orange or yellow. Ideally everything should be like this color. But the problem is for foliage, even with nanite, and especially with the world position offset, I'm not using alpha masking, but it's really overdrawing a lot of stuff here. And I was hoping that voxelization would reduce it, and it does a little bit, but not a tremendous amount. So it did not significantly improve my performance, really. But saying that, I think if you just try to avoid some of the... Okay, if I go back into this one, let's jump up here. Actually, I'm going to escape and jump up to here. Oh no, I ran a test. That's why I've actually got a spawn point. can just get rid of player start. Oh yes, foliage. Start, get rid of you, go up here. And I'll go into full screen mode too. So Alt P. And here we got about 60 frames per second. I mean, I'm still super impressed by the fact that Unreal Engine can render so... I mean, this landscape is 4 by 4 kilometers. And I've got quite a lot of trees. And I know you can do super realistic, ultra realistic stuff. So, I mean, I'm doing low poly stuff here. It's not like amazing that way, but I'm really happy with the way it can render it. So now it's dropping a little bit. See, even with voxelization now, like these trees are only drawing at 50 frames per second in full screen. I'm guessing I'm streaming at the same time, so it's a little bit... I think I saw some indication that it's possibly because I'm not using something called assemblies, which is the new way to do foliage when it comes to... But I actually did test that one too in the test scene, and it doesn't really perform that well either, because they're not really using like fixed meshes like I am. But it's again, it's not the magic bullet, unfortunately. But I think if you're careful and you just put maybe some big boulders and stuff in the forest, and you kind of avoid having a big dense forest that's just not blocked by anything, it can actually help. Because if I go down here and I look through a tree like this, I bet you see if I can get the frame to go up. Not quite. But I'll show you here. So if I'm at about 40 frames per second here, and then I'll go F11, I'm going to disable world position offset on. Let's edit these in the matrix. Right click, property. Am I showing? Yeah. Edit in property matrix. And this one's not popping up the window now. I'm in the property matrix, so I'm just gonna disable. Unfortunately, it's not sharing that on the same screen. I need to figure out a better way to share when I do Unreal Engine. So I'm just gonna disable world position offset. So there we go. Now I've disabled that. Hopefully it's applied it to. And if I try to play now, I think we'll see a pretty significant performance. So now I've disabled, I think it's disabled anyway. So now in full screen here, I'm still getting full 60 frames per second. The difference now is that the leaves aren't animating, or I guess these are conifers, so they're needles. But this is really bringing it up to 60 FPS. So I think maybe it's a matter of like, I think you can create a control volume that is spanning like the forest, because you don't really need to see the animation on a very great like distance. So I can probably shorten the distance that it's doing world position offset animation for these trees, and then I'll get a full 60 frames per second even in these dense forests. I'm pretty excited actually about this whole. If I go out here again, go all the way over here, I'll show you a little bit more of the season stuff too. So here, I'm really like, I do my low poly stuff, but this is not low poly anymore, but I'm trying to go for that aesthetic look, so it still looks a bit like kind of low poly-ish. So here I'm getting, it's dropping to about 45 here, but this is with world position. and streaming. Check this out. So you might have seen in the last video, but I'm really excited about this. I'm hoping to release an asset pack with all these trees at some point. Because if I go, I've created like this nature system. So if I go, let's see, am I sharing part of this? Okay, it's not actually showing the full. Sorry about this. Configure my settings a little better. I'm trying to share everything on an ultra wide, so I'm like, let's see. You probably didn't even see the stat count before. Something like that, maybe. So now this is oh, it's animating season actually. So we can do, I'll just accelerate it a little bit. So we'll do maybe in every 300 seconds it'll cycle now. So when this season counter goes up to, let's see, autumn color start here is at 0.76. Then we should still start to see the leaves changing colors here on the trees. And I'm doing this by crossfading in the shader. It kind of detects it and then it crossfades the material for all the trees that are using that on. And I'm going to support regional changes too, so you can have it different. You can just have a copy of the material now. And now it's getting up to 0.64, so at 76 we start to get a color start. And then once the colors have changed, it goes into fall, start and finish, and that's when the leaves are starting to drop off. So we're close now. Yeah, this is using Lumen. This is using Lumen, that's correct. So, and it's actually using on the leaves too. I'm really happy about, should really change the sky color. Sky. So ultra dynamic sky. I'll do change the time of, oh no, weather I want to do. Oh no, first here's the autumn colors. That's what I was meaning. No. And now what happens too is it starts to drop the leaves. It's accelerated, that's why it goes so fast. It wouldn't be like this fast in the game. But it detects when the falling season comes, and then it spawns Niagara particles from the particular tree. So it's just super accelerated now, that's why. If I go, let's go back to nature. And then I'm going to slow it down again, 3,600. And then we'll put it right at, so that's 10 minutes, is it? 1,600? Or an hour? An hour, 600 seconds. So 0.76 season. Here's at the start. I'm going to go actually to 0.81. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show to here. If I can get the sun. It's got subsurface scattering on the leaves too. We super much see it now because the sun's not out fully. But and here, so the birch trees are dropping birch leaves, and the willow trees are dropping willow leaves. So this is more at the pace of the way it would go when you're playing. And it's a lot of Niagara particles, actually. I don't know how many. I should actually do a counter. Hi, Stefan. How you doing? We can do weather. Let's get some wind going here, too. First, I'll do clear skies, actually, because this will really show the subsurface. So it's rendering two-sided foliage now, and it's calculating the backlighting. I really like the way Unreal Engine does this, how we can light up the leaves like this, because it's calculating the way leaves behave a little bit. So it's two-sided foliage. I'm really happy with this lighting effect actually. It's dropping the frame rate now. I think it's because I'm streaming at the same time and recording to disk, because I did this in full screen before and then with all the leaf particles. And I think it's in cinematic. Yeah, it's going to be really good with the volumetric fog. I think I haven't played around with it so much in this project, but I did try it in one of the other ones. I can load a different level in just a second. I've got some volumetric fog there. And then this autumn thing makes more sense if I do like a thunderstorm or something. So I haven't done the weather system, of course. This is Ultra Dynamic Sky, so that's a third-party asset. But it plays really nicely together, I think. So it's a bit over the top now with the wind. But it's kind of cool, I think. How they're actually dropping. Yeah, I can do this now. So if I ever was to make an open world experience, it would be really fun to actually have it spanning across seasons like this. Obviously not too fast, but it'd be like you play for quite some time and it's like an autumn. Yeah, Ultra Dynamic is... It's not really low poly aesthetics, but I think it still works, because this is like the... It's not stylized to that sense, but I think it still works, to be honest. Let's switch it to... No. So the leaves are gone, and we got some snow now. So Crafty Gamer tutorial about what? About the leaves or about the trees or both? Yeah, okay, that's off the rails about the particle system. But it's only one particle system, actually. First I had the one particle system for each tree, but that makes no sense. So there's one global particle system, and what happens is that the player has an overlap sphere check on a dedicated channel to reduce the number of collisions, and it does a collision check to check any tree that's around it, and it just queries that one, so it knows that this is like an oak tree and this is a maple tree. And then it knows in this tree's location, it's in the falling season now, so I'll start to drop the leaves from this location, and then you can control the rate. So it's only one particle system, actually. That's the most, I think that's the most performance I can get out of the system. Yeah, so I'd love to do a tutorial about it. I've got quite a lot of, I'm still learning it myself at the same time, but as I make more and more trees over and over again, I repeat the process, so I'll get to the point, even if I'm not like an expert in Unreal Engine, I understand it to the point where I can show how like these systems work at least. And then I think maybe like I'd like to release it on the Fab Store too, so other people can use the trees at some point. Yeah, I'm happy with this way actually. It seems to be. I was wondering if it would be cheaper to do like a distance check to the different trees, but I did some research and it seems like it's so optimized the way it does the overlap checks, and since I've dedicated a specific channel for the overlap trees, so it's called collision channels, in Unity would be a layer, and you can kind of filter out so it doesn't do any other collision checks, so it only knows about the trees. And obviously, the longer the distance that you do the overlap check, the more damaging it is. I think I've got the setting in my nature here. It's funny how quickly I forget, because I was in here like every day for about 2 weeks, and then I went away for about a week and a half, and when you come back, oh yeah, here, so it's at 200 meters now. Actually, what we'll do is I'm gonna go back to the autumn period. Oh yeah, here's the one thing that on Ultra Dynamic Sky and Ultra Dynamic Weather doesn't do is I wish it could freeze over the water. I know that's a big ask because it does so many other things, but it would be kind of cool if it could freeze over the water too, because it does all these nice footprint stuff. And it even covers snow on the trees and stuff too. But let's go back. I'll do escape. And then I'll do... what should we do? Let's try to see what happens if I enable the overlap check for like a kilometer. Let's see how much that would affect the frame rate. So falling leaf radius. Let's do... It's 200 meters now. Now it's 2 kilometers, isn't it? So let's try that. This should really have a big impact. Season 0.81 and Alt P play. So now theoretically, yeah, it's spawning leaves from that tree. So now pretty much every tree that I see is spawning leaves. So we'll give it a few moments. We'll see. It's probably going to start to drop quite a lot of frame rate. It wouldn't make sense to spawn it like this anyway. So I could probably reduce it even down to 100 meters. It doesn't even need to be 2. But now we're starting to see. Still doing it like nearly 60 FPS. And every tree that you see over there now is spawning leaves. And all of these trees. The frame rate now is 48. So it's not... Now it's dropping. I think it would be 60 if I wasn't recording it. But these are... I don't know if you can see that in the distance there, but... Yeah. But again, it wouldn't make any... Like, it wouldn't be... For cinematics, it could be good. Like, you can bump it up for that if you're going to record a video or something. But I think realistically, even bring it down to 100 probably. This island I did in Gaia, I haven't used that so much before, and I know that they're working on a new terrain system for future versions of Unreal Engine. It's going to be kind of cool, because terrain systems have always been limited to that you can only really do vertical stuff. You don't really do overhangs, because that comes with that you usually have separate 3D meshes to do overhangs. But the new terrain system that they're doing is going to be, I guess, a little bit more like the voxel plugin or something, because you can do stuff that's coming out to the side, like a big cliff that's coming. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. But I did this island I did in Gaia. So it's a procedural tool where you can just create a flow chart. I guess a lot of people actually know about that one. But it was the first time I used it. And it's definitely quicker to do it that way than sculpting everything. So I tried to create different regions. I've created a little bit of a desert thing with a bay here. And then over here, I put a little bit of a higher mountain. And here you can do regional weathers with ultra dynamic sky and ultra dynamic weather. So in this part, and when you go into, it's actually a volume here that shifts it, so it starts to snow in here. Here's one with lights too. I'll put that. So the idea is that I can create a lot of assets of this style now with the trees, and also just normal 3D assets that I need for my games and also for my asset packs. And then I can populate them into this island and see like where they fit and how it works. Now over here, there's a couple of volcanoes. So here I could do some more lava related stuff. And then I was going to put, since I'm playing Elden Ring, I'll be a bit inspired by castles and stuff. So up here it would be kind of cool to put a castle. Oh, okay. Stefan said about 20 frames per second boost compared to viewport. That's a significant. Oh yeah, the Santa game that I did in that. That was fun. Is that 2 years ago nearly now? I think. Yeah, it is. Crazy. I'm so amazed how like a game engine can do stuff like this though. Like how can it really filter out and render stuff like this at 60 FPS and then just do all the culling that's needed and all the polygon filtering? To me, that kind of blows my mind still. There's so, like if you load this in Blender, for example, it would explode. The amount of polygons that are here now in Blender would just not load. I mean, I've got Blender running here now, and these trees are here now. So I've got all of these instances, and just to load this one takes some time. And if I try to render something in here, especially if I bump this up to like 10,000 trees or something, it would not really like that at all. Whereas in the game engine, where it needs to do it in real time while it's doing other stuff, it's pretty incredible. Regardless of which game engine it is, whether it's Unity or Unreal Engine, I think it's pretty mind-blowing. Oh yeah, I did have a separate test island. You speak about volumetric fog before. I think I had that one set up in third person. Yeah, I tried the new voxel system, and I guess I didn't really see a pop-in with nanites before either, but people... The only time I saw it is if you zoomed into the distance, like with binoculars or something. So it got a little bit tricked, but... Here's where I had... I don't know if it's the full volumetric fog, but I did actually like it quite a lot when... So this was the first test island that I did. I got some different trees that I was testing. Windy. Too windy. Let's see, the big rock. Hello. Love you, bro. Do you answer us? Yeah, I'll answer you. Have you got a question? Yeah, fog is cool. These I'm testing loads of different. I've been testing a whole bunch of different. Yeah, it's good to have many game ideas though. Post cock up. It's better to have too many ideas than not enough. Too big ideas. That's a scope creep. That's a problem. Let's see. So I'm going to switch back to the other one again. It's so much learning still. What I find with Unreal Engine, it's got so many features and so much stuff that even, like, I feel like that I make good progress and I learn things, but it's just such a big, like, compilation of powerful tools that it's so difficult to become super productive at it. Hey, the big rock. Sorry, if I'm looking to the side, it's not that I'm, like, ignorant and trying to avoid the camera, it's because my chat is down there, so bring it up so I can see. I'm glad you're learning Unity and Blender. And it's tough. If you're balancing being a medical student, it's difficult. I know. You have to just find, if you have the passion and you find spare time, then the passion is the most important part. Then you make room for it every now. I haven't actually took my glass of Coke here. Yeah. Game ideas, Gisela. I agree. Like, it's so easy to have. Like, I've got some big game ideas too. I like time travel stuff. I've got some ideas that I want to do with that. I'd love to do at some time in the future. I'd be happy to do another RTS game. I want to do Ultra Nova, of course. I want to do different. There's so many ideas. And we've got. I cannot say your name, unfortunately, but you want to work as an environmental artist. Cool. So will it be enough to have one high poly and one low poly scene in my portfolio with knowing Blender's substance and very basics? So, well, it depends. If you want to specialize in realistic stuff, you only need a high poly one. You don't necessarily need a low poly one. If you want to work with stylized stuff, then you could go for low poly stylish look, but it's whatever. You don't necessarily need both, because a game will either need one or the other. I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you want to focus on something that you find more interesting, then I'd go for that one probably. Oh, you want to do a Unity tutorial for intermediate. So how intermediate? I tend to find most success by doing beginner stuff, and because the more beginner friendly you do content, the wider the audience is, and the more niche you do it, you put a lot more effort into it, and the number of viewers that are consuming it are unfortunately smaller, I find. It's difficult to justify all the work that needs to go into one of those. But I will update, first of all, I'm going to update my Unity tutorial, and I do have ideas to create a basic tutorial again to replace my old one, because the 2018 Unity tutorial, it's outdated, it needs to be replaced. So I was going to do one that's kind of on par with that one, but then I had an idea that if I take the project and then I bump it up to the next level with the more advanced features, maybe some more advanced shader graph stuff, VFX graph, maybe a little bit more advanced AI pathfinding and things, that could work. It's tricky to balance the two game engines too. I mean, my expertise is still in Unity, but like when you spend a few weeks or months away from it and then you come back, you have to sort of relearn it again. Beeb said, do you ever regret your move from Scandinavia to Australia? We lost track of you a bit. It's nice to see you back. The 10-minute challenge made you famous. Yeah, no, I don't regret it at all, actually. We really enjoy it in Australia, and the more I watch the news, unfortunately, in Sweden, the more happy I am that we did move. It's a shame. But we like the weather a lot. I miss friends and family the most. And I mean, I do like a nice autumn day and crisp weather like that, and I do miss snow and stuff. But what I love here is that, you know, you don't have the same healthcare system issues that we did experience, at least where I was living, in the school system. So I don't miss that part of it. Hopefully it'll get better. How's Unity doing now with a whole per install? Yeah, I think it's fine, to be honest. I mean, they did get a lot of people annoyed with that. I was never too bothered because it wouldn't have affected me anyway. And a lot of people, I think they felt burnt or something, but it wouldn't. In reality, the installed system would have only really impacted the free-to-play games that are greedy to begin with. So I don't think it really would have affected most people, but people had a hissy fit. Decided to leave, but I think it's doing much better now, and it was good, to be honest, that they did revert on it, because they were pushing their luck a little bit. So it's nice to see them finding their path back towards doing like what they used to do, because I really loved Unity up until about version 2018 when Riccatello took over and decided to push like widespread it and do all sorts of like stuff just to make it more attractive for the stock market. I didn't like that part at all. And then it started to diverge into different, like all the different render engines, the different unfinished packages, the deprecation stuff. So it's nice to see that they're kind of going back on that. I'll send you pictures from the odd day. Yeah, that's good. Jazilrak sends me pictures every now and then of nice weather in Finland. I mean, it's close enough to Sweden. And how many projects do you need in a portfolio on your first job? Well, it depends on the quality of the portfolio. If you don't have a lot of stuff, but it's a really good high quality portfolio, that'll get you further. And having a lot of mediocre stuff isn't necessarily good either. So, but it shows that you're passionate to learn, I suppose. So it's a tricky one. I haven't. I'd probably just focus on practicing, adding to the portfolio, and as you learn and you expand your portfolio, if you're unhappy with stuff that you made maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, start to take that stuff away from your portfolio, because that could hold it back a bit and drag it back. So it could be worth. Let's see, the big rock. What's your advice for beginners who want to start making games, starting with Blender or Unity or C#? So It depends. Like, if you want to make a game, so it's two different things. Like, if you want to do the artwork for your game, that's like what Blender is good for. If you want to make the game itself and you don't mind using third-party assets, then you should go with the game engine. So it's if you like both, you can do what I did, which is kind of just switch between the two. You'll do like some Blender stuff, and then when you're bored of that, you switch over to a game engine. You have a lot of fun doing that, and then you go back and forth. The downside with that is that it sort of drags out the time a little bit, and everything takes longer. But it kind of helps also if you find that it's a bit, you know, if you lose momentum or if you're a bit bored, it can be good to do it that way. And then when it comes to Unity or C#, I mean, if you're doing Unity, you would have to learn C#. You can do visual scriptings, but I don't really recommend that in Unity because it's not really designed for visual scripting, whereas Unreal Engine has a really good blueprint system scripting. So there you can do a whole game without touching coding. But in Unity, I would learn C# in that case. And I guess for Godot, if you're looking at that, it's a different script language there. Let's see, Beepster, you said a few months ago that you were going to have a set of lectures on how you built Knightfall. Is that still in your timeline? Yes, we did actually release, it's called the Ultimate Indie Dev course, and it's on Game Dev TV. We ran the first iteration of that indie program in June or end of May, I think it was, earlier this year. And we had about 200 people participating, and it contains 160 lectures with I think it's about 30 hours of content. And a lot of those, a lot of the learnings from Unfair Rampage and a lot of the behind the scenes footage is in that program, but that's a paid program. I invested over a year's worth of time to create the program. So that's not like, the whole purpose was to try to build that as part of my business so I can actually do that for a living. We're running that one again in 26th of October, so it's only about 2.5 weeks away. But it is a pretty pricey, you know, it's at $499. So for a lot of people that follow my channel, it's not really within their budget. But for people that are aspiring game devs and have, you know, you get a lot of the stuff in the program that you wouldn't necessarily get anywhere else anyway. So I feel happy enough that, you know, that's a decent price point for it. But I'll still continue to release free content on YouTube and stuff. And I'm also considering to downsize that library and release that separate, because we find that a lot of people that want to do the indie program, they actually want to focus more on the community and develop their games and feedback on it. So I think the indie dev program will shift more towards that, and maybe I'll take all the lectures that I've got there and release that at a lower price point, but without all the live calls and all the guidance, all the community driven stuff that we got there. So I'm actually considering to do that at some point, because it would be a shame to have all of those 160 lectures, and like if people would find benefit from just consuming those and looking at those videos instead, it would make sense to release them at a lower price point. So we'll see if that happens. Yeah, I've actually created a new updated promo video for that one. So. So why don't you make a server for your community in Discord or anything else, and why you don't make it Tower Defense? We've got a Discord server, so if you haven't been there, join it. It's in a lot of the descriptions that I've got in my YouTube videos. There's a link to the Discord. Unfortunately, I find it difficult to balance my time, so I get like sort of bursts where I'm in there for like a half a week or something, or a week, and I chat a little bit, and then I get sidetracked and my projects take over and I have to do those, and then I come back and stuff. But the community is still there and people are still hanging out there, so it's just that I'm a bit intermittent when it comes to that one. Check out the description, not on this video, but on all my other 10-minute Mulling Challenge videos. If you scroll down in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. I'm losing my voice, I can feel. How is a 24-hour stream that work? I've lost it in 2.5 hours now. Yeah, I know, Justin. My presence in Discord is under all critique. Thanks for the link. I should actually hotkey that one so I can do that one. Yeah, I get some bursts when I'm there. And usually my time zone is a bit awkward. So when people say good morning in the Discord, it's like time for me to go and pick the kids up from school. So as you can see, I'm trying to make excuses now. It's not working. See if I go back my other level. Are you still keeping up with your sculpting, Justin? How's it going? You did a lot of sculpts, I remember. This looks broken. Still keeping it up. Been a while now. Must have a lot of stuff now. I did actually enjoy sculpting the trees a bit. I find it difficult to sculpt faces, but the tree stems, I found that to be a really quick way to do the tree stems. What's going to be interesting to see with the new foliage system is that they're procedurally generated, and tend to like, when I looked at the stems that the nanite foliage has got, it's kind of generic the way it just creates tubes, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make these type of tree trunks and stuff with that system, but it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try it. You saw a load circle. Okay. But it is streaming from Australia. Ooh. Gotta make it across the pipeline. Same with lag. I had problems with Steam yesterday, actually. Struggled. I'd like to see how you do the trees in Unfair Rampage. Okay, cool. I can actually load up. I've got those trees. I've actually created the same trees in the Erk trees, Unfair Rampage Knightfall trees. So I can show you the concept here. It should have one. Do I have a blueprint? So this doesn't look like the tree, but now it soon will. Okay, this is broken. I'll probably mess around with the material by the looks. See, but these are the trees. These are the exact same meshes actually that I use in Unfair Rampage, but here I think it's scaling it a little bit different. Do you want to see it in Unity actually, or? Let's see, got another question here. So let me know if you wanted to see in Unity, or if you wanted me to explain it in here. Do I need to take my kids to school soon? 4:41 a.m. 5 in about 4 hours. But I can show both. And if I don't know, another question from the Big Rock. What do you think in should do? I think I should do. I guess 1, learn coding and go deeper in it, or just use AI and steal codes. I would learn coding, but I would use AI to help you along the way as a powerful tool, because if you ask it to do something, like if you need an input script or you need something for your C# script in Unity as an example, it's a really good way to just get some working code, and then you can copy it and paste it and see if it works and how it works, because it kind of often creates semi-working code. So I'd still learn it for sure, otherwise you're not going to be very good at using the snippets that it's producing. But I find it really useful to accelerate my development a lot for specific things. If I need an algorithm, for example, to do something like create a maze or something, I actually did that a few weeks ago. Like I needed to create a maze, so I had that one create a C# function that generates a maze, but then I need to have the knowledge to take that one and implement it. So I would still learn it step by step, but I would accelerate my use later on by using AI, but I wouldn't skip it. Yeah, so Beebster, I have been a coder for 40 years and I use ChatGPT, Claude and Grok to learn things I don't know, like procedural dungeon. Exactly how I do it too. I find it so powerful to do certain things, even to create, I use it a lot to create little powerful tools. For example, for my promo video today, I needed to create a collage of, I had 2 terabytes of video files on my hard drive from all the recordings that I did for the game development. And I just asked Grok to create a Python script that took 5-second random snippets and assembled it into a collage with 5x5 different. And the first code example that I created actually worked out of the box, and it created a 60-second video footage of a collage gathering information from 2 terabytes of stored video files. That would have taken me 2 weeks to do it. No, a week at least. Feels like to do manually. Let's see, what about your favorite games? Well, my favorite games at the moment, I really enjoy Elden Ring, funny enough. It's not really the type of game that I usually play, but my son got me hooked onto it. I love that one. I like to play Line War a lot. That sounds weird because I'm the 50% of the development, I suppose, but I really like that game. I play it a lot. Okay, I'm going to show the trees a little bit more in depth now. Maybe I'll switch over to Unity, should I? Show that. How do we see? The problem is if I do it in here, I think if I open the material editor, I don't think it's going to share it. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't order the Commodore yet. I'm still thinking about it though. It's funny how I was thinking about Unreal Engine today, and it feels like they've just needed stuff, and there's a tick box for everything. I find they're like the information is just jammed in like crazy. There's just, and I think for if you're specializing in something and you work with it every day, you're kind of used to it. But I find it so difficult to find things in Unreal Engine when I look at fluffy trees. Here's the material. And I don't think this is showing. This is so annoying. Wait. Now it's showing the material edit. Okay, so if I do that, it'll show. But then I can't. All right, so I'm going to try to explain the trees a little bit here. So this mesh is actually, if I drag this mesh in, this is the way the foliage mesh looks like. And if I switch maybe from lit mode to wireframe, you can see it's just a mesh that I made in Blender with, it's actually quads, but it looks like triangles here because that's how Unreal Engine does it. So this is the mesh, but the shader does this to it on the right, which is kind of crazy. If I do lit wireframe, maybe you can see. So all the magic is happening in the shader for these trees. That's everything is basically taking these quads and then facing them towards the camera. And then you can see these stencils that I've got here. I can actually do, if I do, let's see, let's get that material instance. see. It'll be it's fluffy trees, maybe this. Still sharing this one? Yeah. So I can change the stencil. I wish I could actually change. The problem is I can't have two windows open at the same time, because if I do this, you don't really see it on the screen. But I can change the stencil here. So what I'll do is what I'll be doing behind the scenes is I'm gonna switch this stencil out for different things, but I'm gonna hide this. But effectively, I'll be just toggling between these different stencils here, so you know what I'm doing behind the scenes here. But if I switch over to this one, should be able to see on the tree here now. I'm gonna change it now. Apparently not. Am I using it? Am I fluffy trees? Oh, I need to save probably. Oh, that was slow. Applying changes to materials. Okay, it's because I got a lot of them. Oh. Updating. I wish there was a quicker way to show this, because the material itself is pretty complicated. Yeah. I don't know why it's so slow at the moment too. Oh, it crashed. I think something is taken up. I noticed that everything was like super sluggish, and when I changed things, it didn't didn't do anything. Switch over to Unity. I can show it there instead. I'll load up on Fair Rampage in here. My computer is running on its knee. I do need to upgrade it because I do have the warning on the security issue here. Oh, greetings from Canada. Some guy called Raven. Cool. Welcome. Greetings from Australia. I'm just going to load in the background here. It takes a while. But trying to start up Unreal Engine at the same time as I'm loading up. Yeah, that's true actually. I do have a streaming. I'm really happy with my capture card. I've got a PCI, like Envato. No, Envato. What's it called? Elgato. Could should really have it. I don't really stream ever, so that's why I don't really. And I think it's actually software encoding now. Oh, okay. Cool, Raven North. I need to spend more time in my own Discord. Even back in the day when a Discord was first suggested to me, I remember, I don't know who it was that suggested it, but people started to say, oh, you should have a Discord. I knew for that back then that I was going to struggle every now and then being there. So I'm glad that it's actually survived and that the community is still there, because it's no thanks to me, because I come in every now and then I get a lot of help that I'm super grateful for. Help me run it. Because I find it difficult to balance everything. I don't know, my computer is really going on this. Alright, so I'm in Unity now instead. Am I sharing this one? Sharing the wrong Unity version. Close the other one. Let's see if Streamlabs can figure out that I'm switching Unity. Back and forth. Yay, it did. So here's the game that I was playing before. Here's the Unity editor version of it. And here are the trees. So if I go to maybe one that's isolated here. And here's the foliage shader. So I don't even know how would I even show this for it to make any sense at all. I guess I could disconnect a few things and try to explain what effects certain things have. The big magic is in the vertex position offset. Maybe if I disconnect this one. Oops. I've been using Unreal Engine for too long now. I forgot how you disconnect the friggin'. Because in the other one you right click and there you go. I have to press delete. It's like different. Sometimes you alt click on these and sometimes you control click and drag to slice them off. And here, let's see, you mark the line and delete. Oh, if I save this one. Here you go. Without the equivalent of world position offset, am I showing? Yeah. Without world position offset, everything is in the vertex position shader here, because this is kind of what the trees look like. If you can imagine, maybe if I switch over to how should we do it? None of these. But if you imagine that this stencil here, it's just an alpha texture, an alpha cutout texture, where each quad on the tree is rendering like this little texture here. And it does this for all of the polygons that are on the tree. So for every quad that's on the foliage mesh here, it renders this alpha cutout texture. So in general, that would just be like having the UV. Each quad of the tree has the UV spread out across this this region. The whole magic comes in the vertex shader, where it takes those and it turns them into billboards, and then it turns them towards the camera. And if I plug this one in again, the vertex offset, click save. This is probably like a half-an-hour video or something dedicated and planned to try to explain this. But now it takes all those quads, turns them towards the camera and enlarges them, like kind of blows them up. And I use the UV coordinates to calculate how I can face them towards the camera and then blow them out. And that's how it creates these kind of lush things. So if I rotate around the trees, imagine all the quads now that are on that foliage, it just turns them into billboards and faces the camera. So, and the rim lighting I get through a Fresnel effect, which is applied, so it kind of looks like it's rim lighting, but it's fake. But there is a really good tutorial on YouTube, and I'm going to look for the name for it, because I actually followed another tutorial. So instead of me recreating that one, I would follow that one. Well, I'm going to see what it was called. I think it was called Fluffy Trees or something. Let's see. Stylized Fluffy Trees. Let's search for.
Bad news. Your business is only using 20% of its data.
Yeah. So there's a YouTube video called. I can't share on the screen because I'm sharing Unity specifically, so the executable. But look for Fluffy Stylized Tree Tutorial using Quad Mesh to Billboard Shader in Unity. And it's a video by Pontus Karlsson, Swedish guy. And it was published 4 years ago. So Fluffy Stylized Tree Tutorial using Quad Mesh to Billboard Shader. And he explains pretty much everything. The only thing he doesn't actually show is the wind. So the wind, what I'm doing, this is what's causing the wind for me. Causing wind sounds super stupid. But I'm using a noise texture that I'm panning, and I'm applying that to like rotational stuff. I wouldn't even know how to organize. Like when you plan a tutorial, for example, to create something like this, it'd probably take a good 4 to 8 hours or something to plan the tutorial, and then it'd take another 2 hours to record it, and then maybe about 8 hours to edit a video like that. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because it would like require me reorganizing it. Since someone else has created a tutorial on that topic, it's probably better to look at that one. But that's this is also why they're so intensive, and that's why they couldn't run on Nintendo Switch. Because if you imagine all of these quads now, overdraw is something that's a problem with the graphic cards, whether it's in Unity or Unreal Engine, anything struggles with it. So if you imagine all of these quads now, again, I'm going to disable that node there, save it, and then you imagine all of these quads now are getting blown up, so they're pretty big, and then they're getting facing the camera, and look at all of these quads here. And initially I had a lot more quads than these, so I actually reduced quite a few of them. So a whole bunch of them, and then when you blow them up and face them towards the camera, the computer has to, if I switch to, you'll see now. So if I do this, and then if I switch over now, check this, this is line art view. So this is just the quads themselves, and you cannot even see through it. That's how dense it is. It's so many polygons. It's absolutely insane how many polygons it is, and that's why it's struggling. I tried to reduce it a little further, but then they look a bit too empty, so it didn't quite work. So for PC it works, Nintendo Switch not so much. And imagine a big forest with thousands of trees. This is not a very viable approach. That's why it actually works in a game like this, because there are not that many of them on the screen at the same time. Yeah, about the overdraw, it's I've researched that a little bit in Unreal Engine, and it reduces a little bit. Not so much, unfortunately, with the voxel. I was hoping for much more reduction than it is. I'd switched to the nanite overdraw view, and it reduced it a little bit, but I didn't really see any performance improvements. Hopefully it'll improve, I guess, in the final version of it. And a lot of the demos that I've seen, they show high performance, but from when they're viewed from a great distance, and it's kind of faster than. Let's see, another question. Some guy called Raven, can the water be done in Blender? Yeah, this mesh. Do you mean to render it in Blender too? You could in that case, because let's see. How can I show that better? So this is also a mesh, and the animation is coming from, again, it's a vertex shader that does vertex offset with stuff. Let's see if I can bring. First, maybe I'll do a copy of this one. I'll duplicate this one and isolate it a little bit. And I did the mesh in Blender. Let's see if we can just get the mesh in. So waterfall, maybe. I am sharing, right? This is where I tend to start. Yeah, I'm still. So maybe I don't exactly know. Waterfall 03. So here's the mesh without the material on it. And if we switch to wireframe. So this is the mesh that I made in Unity, in Blender. And the animation like this comes from the shader that does, maybe we can bring that one up. Here. Let's see, Smart Poly did a video the other day of covering overdraw and whatnot. I tried to... Let's see. What if you... Let's see, I'm going to read up what you're saying there. So, X-Man. What if no nanite, but occlusion culling with depth prepass and GPU instancing? So, there's a... You've probably seen that channel, the guy who's really hammering down on nanite. Something, can't remember the name of the channel now. And I think you can still get better performance without nanites and with LODs, and if you do the culling and stuff. The problem for me is that I would spend so much time creating the different LOD levels and implementing the tech to do the filtering, that for me it's more valuable to get the performance of just having one tree and then accepting that nanite maybe, you know, doesn't deliver as fast as it would have been with other techniques. But the time saving that I get from using one mesh is actually more valuable. But I've also tried to block, so inside my trees I tried to create blocking volumes. I found it very difficult to make it look good enough, because when I created, like even in a conifer tree, I tried to create a cone inside of it that was solid, that would prevent the overdraw, but you could always kind of see through that there is a blocking volume inside the tree. Maybe for some stylized trees it would work, but for nearly all of my trees it didn't make any sense to do it, unfortunately. And I think the biggest performance boost that I think that Unreal Engine would get is by trying to block world position offset from occurring where they don't see it. So I don't really know why they don't focus on that a lot more. I think because if you're in a dense forest, the slowdown with nanite comes with the world position offset. Even if you have a lot of overdraw, if we could just figure out that it's very unlikely that I see the world position offset on a tree that's behind another tree, I wish it could actually do that sort of filtering. That would boost a lot more than the voxels would have so far. Yeah, I think it's called Threat Interactive to them even. Very anti-nanite. Super, I mean, the guy is knowledgeable, I'll tell you that much. When I hear him talking, he knows his things. And he's probably right to some extent, but again, I think it's like, I kind of understand why Unreal Engine is going the way they're doing too. So, but he's very focused on his ideas, but he's knowledgeable for sure. Let's see. To get the undertone of the water, let's see if I can bring that one up. So here's the water shader that I've got. This one's a little bit simpler at least. Let's see. So the concept behind it is, let's see if I can remember here now. I'm using a time node and I'm panning the UV coordinates, and I'm using a Voronoi node. Maybe if I can plug this one in so I can see it like this. Let's see, where is this one going? It ultimately goes to there. So what if I do this? Why can I not connect one? Oh yeah, I think it's got some quirky things. Like that it thinks it's creating like a loop. I remember something like this. I had to hack it nearly to allow me to connect these things because for some reason I cannot connect this one to here. Why wasn't I allowed to? I think it's because it's got like a dependency on... Is it because that one's there? Yeah. Got some sort of a weird dependency. I remember having to trick this one to make it work. So here is without world position, or say world position offset now, but here's the very first part. But you can see that the mesh is the same now. It's not changing the mesh with the vertices. If I look here, everything is just the same as the one I modeled in Blender. But what is happening is that I pan the UV coordinates with a time node, and then I'm using a Voronoi to create these things that are animating. So that starts to create the base of the waterfall. And then I'm using, just here, I'm using a gradient to turn the colors. And I'm trying to remember now. I'm using another gradient so I could create the foam effect because I knew where on the mesh on the UVs that it kind of occurred. So I created this gradient lookup so it could say that it was going to be brighter there. And then maybe I can do it without the world position offset. So by the time the colors are done, it looks like this. So here is just, again, it's taking the Voronoi animated, and these are nodes that come inside of the shader graph. And then I'm just using the gradient lookup, so I could color it with a gradient to say that in this part of the mesh, and it's only because I know that this part of the mesh around these UV coordinates, that's why I've created this lookup gradient so I can make it. It doesn't have any knowledge that it's like being falling down or anything. It's not smart in that way. It's only because this gradient says that, you know, it's at this part of the mesh, I want you to colorize it differently. That's basically all I'm saying. So it's locked to this mesh. It's not like an intelligent, it doesn't understand that it's falling down or anything. And then I'm taking these, this grayscale, and I'm trying to remember now. The position node and the normal vector, I multiply it and I add it, apparently. And it has this effect. It's just so it wouldn't stay still. So it just does a little bit of a noise movement. When you go close, it doesn't look that great. And then when you combine it over here with some particle effects like this. Okay, it's not running because yeah, you can use a Voronoi, I think, in Blender for sure too. So exactly the same logic would work in Blender. Do it. Here's with some particle effects. So these are just some particles that are going up, and here's another particle system that these are cubes, I think. Yeah. And I'm realizing for some reason they look, but from a distance it doesn't matter. And here I just doubled it up. I think I did a separate. Did I do? Yeah, I did one mesh. I think I just cloned it more. Yeah, that's it. It's difficult to show, like conceptually, it's pretty easy to kind of mention the theory behind it, but to try to go into a shader graph and show, I mean, usually when I load these up myself, I'd have to spend maybe half an hour to start to think like, oh yeah, that's what I did there, and then it's easy to forget. Even as a few weeks go by or something, I kind of forget. So when I need to go in and fix stuff, it's like a cache maybe in a CPU. Like once you have it fresh in your mind, you can operate pretty fast, and when you create them, you get into the momentum. But then it drops out of the cache and it disappears. So if someone tries to, or if I'm trying to show someone how it works, I'm like, oh, can't even remember myself how I did it. But then it starts to slowly come back. I missed it. Yeah, when it comes to vox, like LOD popping, usually I find that's not really the biggest problem in games. I find, I'm trying to think what I'm getting more in. I think I get more disturbed the fact that world position offset and tree animations kind of pop more. I think that disturbs me even more when suddenly like a tree's moving in the wind and then it gets beyond a certain point and it just. But you can fade that too, you can sort of reduce it. All right. Warm in here now. Sun must be coming up soon. I think, so it's 5:15 in the morning here. So I think I should think about rounding things off now. But it's been fun to actually chat live streaming. I need more practice with it. Let's see the LOD pop. Can I switch over to Unreal Engine? See if we can spot any popping here. So I use Nanite's preserve area because without that kind of pops. I think this shadow popping, I guess, is a bit annoying. I find this is probably what disturbs me the most too. If you look at these trees here now, you see how the shadows disappear. It's kind of shadowed on the ground, but now they start to get a lot more contrasty shadows. And this looks so much better. So from a distance, when you have all of these trees, for example, they look a little bit flat somehow. It's cool that it's using virtual shadow maps, so it's got shadows on the ground. But when I go closer, you'll see now it starts to get, it fills in. It looks so much better. So if you could get this look from this distance, I think it would look absolutely amazing. Because it does get a little flat somehow. But I don't really see any popping. These are not using voxelization or anything. See if I go slower. So the shadow stuff disturbs me a lot more than any sort of popping would do. I guess that's the point with Nanite too, that you shouldn't really see the popping. There are the other stuff like the anti-aliasing. Yeah, no, I've not gone to bed yet, but I've got to wake up soon to give the kids a lift. But I think after I drop them off in school, I might have to like rest a little bit afterwards. Take care, Ostkaka. Yeah, and come to think of the LOD system in Unreal Engine is actually really good. Even before Nanite, the way it can auto-create LODs is absolutely amazing too. Compared to Unity's LOD system, which is absolute rubbish. Then you have to have different renderers, and the LOD switcher switches between 3 active different renders, and it disables 2 renders and enables a third one. And then it switches and disables that one and enables another render. Whereas the LOD switching in Unreal Engine is really kind of hidden from the user. You don't even have to worry about it. One thing that I found was a big difference is virtual shadow maps, actually. Because that works with Nanite, and that Threat Interactive, or whatever it was called, he's hammering down on virtual shadow maps too. But maybe I can disable that one so you can see. Because if we look at the shadows the way they look now, then I'm going to go, you probably won't be able to see when I pop up the project settings here, but I'm going to see if I can go virtual. There's so many. Now I'm going to switch over to shadow maps from virtual shadow maps. I don't even know hardly the technology behind it. I think I remember this had a big impact. So I'll have to toggle while I can see. So this is virtual shadow maps. I switched to shadow maps now, and it looks like this. I mean, I guess it's a lot less definition, like, and blurry. So if we look at the shadows here now in the center of the screen, and then I go back to virtual shadow maps, they're a lot more detailed anyway. But I don't really understand the tech behind it. And you get this mip map kind of effect. Yeah, here you see like the split of the mip maps for the shadow maps. And I go back to virtual shadow maps now, and the amount of detail is... So I wouldn't really say that, like, this switching over, not using Nanite and not using virtual shadow maps, I actually like the quality better with Nanite. I'd care a lot more of the about the shadows than any form of popping. I don't really quite know what the fuss is about there. But I'm really happy that you don't have to worry about imposters and stuff, because it's more the technical implementation that's so painful. Like, so traditionally, if you had a forest like this, when you do LODs is one thing, and then at a distance like this, you'd have to switch these out for imposters, which are basically billboards but rendered from different angles. So I'm really happy that you don't have to mess around with that. That's why I think the Nanite stuff is so nice, that you can just keep one mesh. And even if it's not ultra performant to the point where it compares to the most optimized alternatives, just the benefit of being able to just drop these trees in with this level of detail and just not worry about it, that's what I think is the most useful thing. I have to re-enable the world position offset so I don't forget on these trees. Yeah, I agree, and off the rails, I agree with I prefer the look of it. So I just have to be a bit more careful. It's funny because when I think back, the way there was a pretty big forest in Fortnite called Wailing Woods, and they put it in a crater, and I understand why now. It's to get the overdraw from, like, to prevent overdraw, because when you were further away from that, then the landscape would block a lot of the tree coverage, and it makes sense now that they put that foliage inside of a crater to try to reduce that. Okay. Now I've got to re-enable the world. There's, like I said, world, so many. So evaluate. I'm pretty happy with the... I didn't show the redwood trees before. I think the Witcher demo, the Witcher 4 demo, where they have, if I understand it correctly, each of their hero trees or their trees are 22 million polygons, and then they have 77,000 trees in there. And I don't think out of the box, even with nanite voxelization, it doesn't run like that yet. So they've done, and I know instead of world position offset, they're using to do the wind movement, they're using bones in the trees instead and skeletal mesh animations, which is kind of cool. It's I think it was like 800 bones in every tree. But I think what they have to do is cleverly disable any foliage movement that's not in view. I think that's not implemented yet. Because when I tried the sample scene even with the assemblies and the voxelized nanite stuff that they're showing, I tried that sample scene in this project. Actually, should I do that? I can do that now. Show you. I think it's called Zoo or something. Asset Zoo. Curious. Yeah, I agree. It's very... I've spent probably 2 years trying to learn Unreal, and I know Unity well, but my progress in Unreal Engine has been slow. I don't necessarily unlike the blueprints. You can do a lot of logic in there, and it gets kind of like compartmentalized and nice in there. And I'm not too afraid of switching to a C++ if I need to for performance, but I found that the blueprints have actually performed surprisingly well. And I find that a lot of the stuff that they've developed themselves are actually blueprint driven. Or cool. So here's the sample scene that comes. I'm going to enable stats again. So that, yes. I keep doing it in the wrong. So these, I mean, this is cool stuff. These are the assembly, these are the procedural trees. And I'm getting about 45 frames per second now, but it's because I created these. And in here, let's see. I don't know why I get a lot slower performance when I press play than in the editor. Check this out. Oh yeah, I have a guess here actually. So this scene, I'll just explain because I can't be bothered reverting everything. But before I created those trees in the distance, then this was rendering at 60 frames per second. So when I only had this scene here, 60 frames per second. So I thought, oh, that's cool. I should be able to do millions of trees now because that's what they did in the Witcher demo. So I just took them and I used the Foliage painter and I put these here. And see how they're fast in the editor now? And it's, well, fast-ish. It's not even doing 60 FPS in a smaller window here now. So it's still struggling a bit. But when I press play, it really struggles. And I think it's because it's using the animation. That's why I think they're actually disabling that in the Witcher demo. Because now I'm getting 19 frames per second. And if I go full screen like this, it's probably going to be even worse. Check this out, 17. So I think it's doing the skeletal animation now on all the trees in the distance. So there must be something equivalent to the world position distance offset. It's definitely not doing that by default anyway. And I don't even have that many trees now compared to what they showcase, and it's definitely not 77,000. And this is with voxelization now, and it's running at 20. Right? And it's the assemblies and stuff. So there's no magic in the assemblies themselves. They don't do any culling in that way. So I have a feeling that has to do some aggressive like disabling of wind animation in this one that's not really implemented. I think that's why they also limited the demo scene to not have a big forest. And my conclusion is, since it runs this fast in here now, and they're not animated, so it must be the animation that's doing that big slowdown. Could you refresh my mind? CDPR? Like, I don't even remember what that is, if I've even heard about it. Omega. It's pretty cool. Ah, okay. Logic red. I understand, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine if... I mean, I don't doubt that they're running it at a good frame rate, so I think the tech is there. I think it's just a bit of smoke and mirrors at the moment to get it to run the way they need to. But I don't doubt that it's gonna probably get there. But again, I think, let's see, if I go back to the others. Go back to my island here. That's why I haven't actually pursued. I was going to do assemblies for my low poly trees to see if that improved the performance. But after I did this test, I don't think it necessarily will. So I think I'll hold off with that for now. Maybe I can show you the difference with the overdraw here, actually. So first, like imagine if I press play here, now it's with world position again, so it's going to be... So here, imagine if it somehow do a little bit more detection to only do world position offset, like really in a dense forest, that it only did it even in a smaller region. I think I can control it with a volume. That's why I created this this volume. I think you can do it. If I... It's not visible now. Yeah, this one. So call distance volume, because I think just before I went on a holiday, I read that you can probably reduce the distance. But I think if they could optimize it to the point where it detects that I don't really see so many of the other trees, and then it automatically calls, not based on distance like 200 or meters or 100 meters. If it can do similar to the overdraw check and say, I'm just overdrawn once, I'll just disable world position offset. I think that could do a tremendous difference in terms of performance. I think that's where the culprit. I'll show overdraw here actually. So if I go here. So this is with voxel, and we'll switch to nanite overdraw. So this is with voxelization now. And then I'll disable voxelization now. So this is where I was hoping that the overdraw would be less of an issue, but it still seems to be the same. Please. So for these trees now, Oh. It's not the foliage, it's static. So now I'm going to switch all of these from voxelize to preserve area. Save. So there's a little bit more overdraw, but it's not like a huge difference, I would say. Maybe I can do it. I'll do it off screen so I can see. I'll tell you when I'm hitting apply. So it's on preserve area now. I'm going to switch them to voxelize. There we go. And back to preserve area. And voxelize. Yeah, I don't see a huge difference, unfortunately. If any. I'm using 5.7. Let's see, I don't know if there's a new version like of the beta. I downloaded this one about a week and a half ago. So 5.7.0 and then some build number. 459, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I'm missing something else, but I don't think so. Yeah, I wonder why. Why is the difference then? Because maybe I'm missing something else. At first I thought, let's see, if I go... I wonder if it's because I've got two-sided foliage on, which I don't really want to sacrifice because I want the backlit leaves, so I don't really want to sacrifice that. And I did actually try to disable that, and I didn't see a performance increase, so I don't think it's that either. And maybe it's the world position offset then. How about I do both of those? Let's go back to preserve area, or no, voxelize. And nanite enabled voxel opacity. I tried that one before that. And I tried different voxel levels too. That didn't have any. No. Try to disable world position offset too. And performance increases a lot, but the overdraw is still there. So here's extreme voxelization just as a test. I wonder if yeah, it's definitely getting overdraw anyway. As soon as you get back towards the normal voxel sizes. Maybe it's from a distance actually. Let's see then. Maybe I'm too close. Here we go. Okay, maybe here's where we'll see. Okay, let's try to switch them now. So at this distance, ignore the trees in the distance. It's only these conifer trees here. So I think here's where we might see difference. Maybe I was just too close. So grab these trees. I think we'll see a difference now, actually. So now I'm going to switch to preserve area. There we go. Okay. Okay. I was too... So up close, the voxelization, you don't see that I'm switching because it's in a separate window now, but now it's preserve area. And now I switch to voxelize. Ow. Okay. Big difference. Interestingly enough, though, the performance has never really been... Like, at this distance, it's not really been a performance issue. Even with the overdraw, funny enough. The problem becomes, at least when I've done my testing, the problem is as soon as you get into these kind of areas. And then even with voxelization, at the moment at least, it still slows down with world position offset. So I think I'm still hopeful. And I think some more stuff will happen on that field. That's cool. So definitely on a distance, definitely different. Yeah, so I think, again, let's try even from this distance. So switch it back to voxelization overdraw. You can see the trees in the distance here. So it's reducing overdraw significantly on distant object, but not nearby ones. So it's still an issue when you're in a dense forest. But surely this must be a lot better, of course, than this. Yeah. So it seems to be in the distance. Let's try one more time in here. So here, this is voxel, or this is preserve area. Switching to voxel in 3, 2, 1, now. So it's a little bit less there. Back to preserve area. Back to voxelize. Rolling out. Voxelize, clearly a significant reduction. Switching to preserve area now. Yeah, okay. So from a distance at the moment anyway, that seems to be. Yeah, Beebstar, I agree. It's a shame. that it does. Especially with nanite when it needs to recalculate everything. It's kind of annoying. Like, you solve one problem and then another one sneaks in, because world position offset without nanite is not an issue. You can animate the whole world with world position offset because it doesn't really cost that much. But with nanite, it needs to reevaluate everything. Yeah, I saw a little bit of a difference, maybe close up, but not on the frame rate. I didn't see any difference. But definitely interesting. Let's see. It's on preserve area now. Let's see if it's visually. And I understand that my trees are not like, they're different from the normal, like, realistic foliage too. So I'm going to switch to voxelize in 3, 2, 1, now. I actually think you get a little bit more detail with voxelize. I don't know. My vision is too poor to see. Times. I forgot this tree is a bit broken. Half of it has faded away. I changed the UV coordinates. Looks too. No, I haven't swapped. I'm still using. I'm learning Unreal Engine still, and I want to make some games in there too. But I'm still using you as well. They're good at different things. I was mentioning earlier in the stream that for simple platformers and stuff like Unfair Rampage that I made, I probably still would make those type of games in Unity. For super fast frame rates and stuff, where I don't need Lumen and things. Yeah, it looks like they look like they cut it like to avoid. That's something they do in Sweden along the rail track. They'll be like, yep, we don't want leaves on the rail. DDT. Drop it. I don't remember if I did collision. Yeah, I did. I don't think I could necessarily, with the procedural assemblies, I don't think I could get the trees like this detailed, the trunks. So for stylized trees, it'll be interesting to try at some point, but I think I still want the creative control. So I'm still okay that I've done those, I think, in Blender. I did try, let's see. Let's put winter back on. I should be going to sleep now, but let's try that. I love the snow look. For Ultranova, I was doing some testing, but I imagined something like this, but with a different character, of course. And then player, no character. And as a platformer background, but I think you have to be really careful, I think, when it comes to separation of backgrounds. That's why I did the background blur in the end in Unfair Rampage, because it's so difficult to see like where the player is. So you have to either you have to do it with contrast, or you have to do it with some sort of a blur effect. But I think these type of trees now, like, they'll definitely work as a background assets for all the platformers that I want to make in the future, whether it's in Unreal Engine or Unity. I don't know if Unity could cope with all the polygons though, to be honest. I doubt it, since they don't have any nanite equivalent yet. Yeah, the snow looks good. I like it. It gets a little bit repetitive when you look from like a high distance like this. But that's nitpicking. Let's try depth of field actually. I can remember where to do it. how long I've been working on this scene. So I think I spent it's difficult to judge because I've combined it with different stuff. Like, so I spent maybe 4 hours on the landscape in Gaia to create the terrain, and then the trees have taken maybe, I think I've spent a week so far to do the different trees. So I've got about 15 of these conifer style trees, different variations and stuff. But the time that it took, it was to build, like, these are geometry node trees here. So it took time to build the geometry nodes, but to create like variations of these now will be super, super fast. Hopefully it won't crush on me now. Let's check this out. Like with these trees now. Let's see. If I just take any tree like this one. Shift D to duplicate it. And then if I modify this one now, it'll just like create like variations of these type of trees. And even if I like, say you do Shift D to duplicate that, rotate, you can make variations of the trees super fast now, and then just change the foliage stuff. So I think like creating trees from now on, it took longer to do the conifer trees, funny enough, than if you look at the here, the oak tree. This one is actually a simpler geometry node than the conifer trees, because this one only has a trunk and then a bunch of leaves. These ones I had to actually spawn the branches too, separately. So maybe about a week to create the two different... about a week to create the geometry nodes, and then another week maybe learning how to get... to get the autumn system and the seasonal stuff. Probably took about a week to get that in. It's got some issues, like when I go in close here, you can see like these branches don't really look good here. But I can fix it, but I haven't prioritized it now, but it's got some issues with the world position offset separates. Oh, cool. So bigger ocean. Thanks for mentioning. Gaia, I've never, funny enough, used it before. I've heard about it for years. And then I don't know if they have any alternatives for the platforms. I think... I mean, it's a super cool tool. I think you can do something very similar. I actually bought something called Errant Photon. It's a third-party plugin for Unreal Engine. I bought that because it was a discount, and you can actually create stuff like this with stencils inside of Unreal Engine instead. So maybe that's an alternative actually. And the cool thing with the Errant Photon is that you can do it in runtime, and you can actually modify. So if you had a spade and dug, I'm kind of interested from a creator perspective, that you can blow up an explosion and then put a stencil there, and you can make an indentation, and it affects the collider too. So it's pretty pricey, I guess. I think I paid like a couple of $100 for it. I haven't actually even loaded it yet. I picked it up on discount, and then I thought I'm gonna probably end up using it at some point. Sounds like me. I tend to buy stuff and then, oh, someday I'll need it. If you can't install it, if it complains about the length of the path, you have to put it in the root, funny enough. So put it on C:, like /UE5.7, because it cannot, it has an issue with the path being too long. Maybe that's what you're running into. So X-Man, look into Errant Photon then, as an alternative. And you also have the Voxel plugin, but that's still not released. Hasn't been for a long time. I think it's in beta still. Was there something else I was going to mention about? So maybe, I think I've been like combined learning Unity, creating the Blender trees, and populating this so far. Maybe 2 weeks or something, 2, 3. And I'm excited because, oh yeah, I spent maybe 2 of those days creating these type of things too. Those like stone formations. And it's going to be exciting because I want to start to do, like ideally I'd like to make modular building stuff and bridges and castles. Oh, from the installer, there was something you had to do to get the preview. Oh, the sun is up now. It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, I can't remember. I remember there was some quirk when I was trying to install it too, but I can't remember how I fixed it. Yeah, they get through. All right, folks, I'm actually gonna start finishing the stream here. It was a lot of fun because it's been a long time since I was doing any streaming. I don't know if it made a lot of sense, but I need all the practice I can get now. So it's been a lot of fun. And as a closing comment, I just want to mention one more time that check out Unfair Rampage on Steam, and it's coming on Nintendo Switch as well. So 23rd of October is the release date. I'm super excited about that one. Link in the description if you want to go there. It would actually help me a lot if you could just add it to your wish list if you want to. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. I've actually got a hotkey prepped, so I'll be able to do the outro. So have a great one, and I'll see you soon again. I'm going to go and have a quick sleep now so I can get up in 1 hour and get It's a Ride. So thanks, everyone. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys. Bye for now.